Blog Talk Radio. I'm sorry, but I did not hear you press. I'm sorry, but I did not hear you press at least 4 digits of your PIN number. Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye. Blog Talk Radio. Please enter your host PIN. When finished, press the pound key.
To start your show now, press 1. To hear important instructions.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Blog Talk Radio.
Nobody take no cornbread from me.
Okay. All right. Okay. How we looking over here? Let's get this number up. Let's get the number in the house. How y'all doing? What's going on, Wolfpack? This your man, Tim Black. I'm back again. We're doing it real funky, right? What is up? Friday. Freedom Friday, people. Freedom Friday in the house. Yeah. I feel like I was just talking to you. You know? Gosh, man. I guess because I was, right? Yeah, I was. What's going on, Facebook? What's going on, YouTube? What's going on, Internet? Beaming me right into your home. Right there, right front and center. What's cracking? So, let's go make sure we're good on, let's go to YouTube first this time. YouTube people, what's going on, YouTube peoples? YouTube in the house. What's cracking? Gary, Benita, what's up, Johnsons? Woo! Johnson's in the house. Good to see you down at M16, Sally Thompson. Trill South. I see you in the house. Oh, wow. Let's let people know we're here. Can we get some likes and some shares, Johnson? Yes. Dave and Jewel the Machine. Jewel in the Machine. D. Sergey. Tizzy, what's up? Laura. Myra. Myra's mama. Give it up. Myra's mama. Yeah. Let me get some likes, guys. Get it going on. Thank you. We are doing it. Coming through loud and clear, I hope. D1 Gray, what's up? How you doing, D1 Gray? Good to have you guys. Good to have you. Good to have you. Wow. Let's check in with Facebook real quick. Facebook, what's cracking, Facebook? Is my Facebook even working? Get rid of this pop-up crap they got going over here. It says open forum. They move things around again on Facebook. What's up, Jesse? What's up, Julie? What's up, Linda? Thank you, Mike, for sharing it. Mike, I appreciate you holding it down over there. Bill Sullivan and Michael Rudin. Jesse Bishop, Marjorie Lemons. Yep. Joni, what's going on, Joni? What up, Jason? Nick, what's up, Nick? Adam, Dolores. Good to see y'all. Good to see y'all. Good. Everybody okay? Everybody okay? You know how it is. Boop, 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 boop. They got a lot going on this thing, man. Steve, what's up, Steve? Michael Rudnin. Lucius. What up? There it is. Give it up for those folks, man, coming through on a Friday night, Friday morning, Friday night. It's just midnight, you know. We were here till 3 o'clock last night. On a Thursday. We got it in on a Thursday, folks, so you know we can do the night. This is a cakewalk. This is easy. This is just, I don't even know where that term cakewalk came from. You know, walking the thin line, I get that. But cakewalk, that means you get some cake at the end of the walk. Are you eating cake while you walk? I don't know. What's cakewalk mean? I mean, I know what it means. It means something easy, right? It's a cakewalk, right? But I don't know where it came from. Like, what's the analogy? What's cake got to do with it? What's cake got to do with it? What's cake? But a second-hand emotion. We got some people lining up in the queue. Look, the queue number's up, guys. I'm going to tell you right now. We're going to go to phone lines really early tonight because Tim Black is burnt out. I was going to look at stories. I got one thing to talk about, and that's going to be quick. I'm just going to let my callers do the talking tonight. You know, because, man, come on, guys. You know what I'm saying? Covering the George Floyd case is kind of like, wow. But we did it. We did it, Johnsons. We did it. And I'm going to tell you guys, I want to thank everyone who supports it, everyone who supported those live streams, who supported the updates on a daily basis about the trial. We now know they got closing arguments on Monday, guys. Give it up for those people, man, that somehow found a way to tune in with me. Who's saying, okay, I'm not going to watch this trial all day, but I'll check out Tim Black and see what kind of wrap-up he's got. And I want to say to those people that reached out to me and thanked me for the coverage they could get nowhere else, I want to say you're welcome. I feel like it's my duty to do it. I'm glad I was able to do it. I'm glad I'm in a position to do it. That's a blessing to be in a position to do something that makes you feel valued and that you're doing the right thing and that you're a part of a solution. You know, that's something for me it makes me very happy to be useful in that way, you know? So I build up community with you guys. And then I get the privilege of informing you on the news and what's going on. So also, I let people know that I released, I think I still got it here. Let's just show people where it's at. So let's just say you didn't have time to watch the George Floyd trial, the Derek Chauvin trial of the killing of George Floyd. You didn't really have the time to capture that. Or you just didn't have the patience. You didn't think your senses could take it. Emotionally, you thought it would be draining, could be detrimental to one's being to sit through that. whatever it was. I'm not here to criticize that. I don't know. I don't know why. I'm not criticizing that. I just think us as reporters and commentators and analysts, it was kind of an important thing to cover. But not coming down on people that don't do this for a living. Why they didn't feel like. I mean, it was 14 days almost, man. I mean, come on, Johnson, come on. That's a lot of time. That was almost longer than a season of Game of Thrones. Actually, it was it? 14, like, how many hours we're talking? 6 hours? That's trimming all the fat. 6 hours a day? Come on, Johnson. I mean, so anyway. Oh, here we go. This is the thing I want you to know about now. I don't know why this won't skip to it. Here we go. Now, don't forget. Now, this is new. Go to George Floyd Case. GeorgeFloydCase.com. You'll find my 10 facts about the George Floyd case. That's right. That's right, Johnson. Go to GeorgeFloydCase.com and download my slideshow, my presentation. And you can watch it online or you can download it and own it. It's free, 100% free, no money at all for it. It's just what I put together from the trial, the 10 key points that I thought were the most powerful 10 points, the most intriguing 10 points of the trial. All right? So go do that. George Floyd, GeorgeFloydCase.com, GeorgeFloydCase.com. Get your copy of it and share it with a friend. And that's there we go. There it is, Johnson. All right, let's get going, man. Let's do this, man. Wow. It's kind of hot in here, man. What's going on? Getting a little hot in here. So, all right. I got one thing, guys, I want to talk about. What's up with Kyle Rittenhouse? Why is it you think cops love Kyle Rittenhouse so much? What is it about Kyle Rittenhouse that's so great? Yeah. I'm looking at an article in The Guardian and Newsweek. Yeah. This is kind of amazing, Johnson, how much people love Kyle Rittenhouse. He's like their guy. Yeah, he's like their guy, man. They really rock with this guy. They're like, wow, this kid is leading men. The title of the article is, U.S. police and public officials donated to Kyle Rittenhouse, data breach reveals. Yeah, they like his handiwork. A data breach at a Christian crowdfunding website has revealed that several police officers and public officials have donated money to fundraisers for accused vigilante murderers, far-right activists, and fellow officers accused of shooting Black Americans. That's something to get out of bed and hear the first thing in the morning, isn't it? Yeah, that's pretty. It's pretty not good. Shooting Black Americans. In many cases, the donations were attached to their official email addresses, raising questions about their use of public resources in supporting such campaigns. Yeah, not only are you using company email to do this shit, which should not be used for this at all, this is like personal shit, right? Now, if you're a government employee, you know what I'm talking about. Signing up for stuff using your company domain email, it's kind of not good. But also, pretty stupid. Yeah, like if your name was bananapeel65 at yahoo.com, and look, my apologies to bananapeel65 if that exists. I just made that up. But if it was that, nobody would know who you were. You'd be anonymous. They'd have to at least do some tracking, some hacking or some investigation to find out who the hell you were. But no, these mofos are brazen. They're like, I'm gonna use my company address here. I'm gonna use the government address for the civil servant position that I hold. Yeah, to donate to this far-right extremist. Now, the breach shared with journalists by Transparency Group, Distributed Denial of Secrets. That's a group name for your ass, isn't it? Revealed the details of some donors who had previously attempted to control their identities using Give, Send, Go's anonymity feature. Oh, they did. Oh, they did try to get around it. My bad, Johnson. I take it back. But whose identity details the website preserved? Oh, the website, that's the one that got cracked. So they tried to hide themselves, but the hide and go seek website got cracked. I get it. The beneficiaries of donations from public officials include Kyle Rittenhouse, who stands accused of murdering 2 left-wing protesters in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Yeah, we know that Rittenhouse traveled from Illinois all the way over to Kenosha because he wanted to defend the businesses. He became what they say here is a celebrity across conservative media through the late 2020 and was even supported by then President Donald Trump. Held his fundraiser on Give, Send, Go, billed his contribution to his legal defense. By then, President Trump held a fundraiser? I'm tripping, dog. He had a fundraiser for Kyle Rittenhouse. Come on now, that can't be true, Johnson. Did he do that? Let me reread that. Rittenhouse traveled from neighboring, Illinois. It was about the shooting of Jacob Blake. Rittenhouse, who became a cause celebrity across conservative media throughout the late 2020, was even supported by then President Trump, held a fundraiser, Go Give, Send, Go, build as a contribution to his legal defense. According to data from the site, he raised. Y'all ready for the amount of money this guy raised on his behalf? Kyle Rittenhouse, his kid who killed 2 people. $586,000, Johnson. $586,000 is how much he raised. Wow. That's just since August through January. In 4 months, they raised $500,000 for this guy. Among the donors were several associated with email addresses traceable to police and other public officials. One donation, made on September last year, was made anonymously but associated with the official email address of Sergeant William Kelly, who serves as Executive Officer of Internal Affairs in the Norfolk Police Department in Virginia. The donation also carried a comment reading, God bless. Thank you for your courage. Keep your head up. You've done nothing wrong. Sometimes you gotta kill people. Another Rittenhouse donor using an official email address was Craig Shepard, who public records show is a paramedic in Utah. He gave money to Rittenhouse in August. Donations also came to Rittenhouse associated with official email addresses from Keith Silvers, an employee of the city of Huntsville, Alabama. No shit. Alabama? Get out of here, man. They're so progressive. And another 100 was associated with the official address of Michael Crosley, an engineer at the Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory, a body which is served with maintaining the U.S. nuclear weapons stockpile. They love Kyle Rittenhouse, man. I wonder why they love Kyle so much. What is it about Kyle that police and law enforcement personnel and people attached to law enforcement personnel and military, looks like, U.S. nuclear weapons stockpile, why do they like this guy so much? He's getting a bum deal, man. All he did was kill 2 protesters. Sometimes you got to kill protesters. Meanwhile, several Wisconsin police officers donated to a fundraiser to support Rustin Shesky. Hailed for the Kenosha Police Department officer whose shooting of a black man, Jacob Blake, led to the protesters drew Rittenhouse to the city. So not only do they support Rittenhouse, they support the cop who shot and paralyzed Jacob Blake that caused the protest. They support the cop shooting this guy in the back, and they support Rittenhouse who shot the protesters when the people complained about him getting shot in the back. Now, anybody can donate to anything they want to donate to pretty much. I mean, that's legal. But I guess it's just the fact that these are, cops. I guess that make it kind of bad, See, this is why I was telling that officer, that sergeant, Mr. Carano, what's his name? The one that got roughed up by that officer, that jackass officer, Gutierrez Castronaro. This is why I was saying he should not be surprised that officers treat him like shit even though he was in uniform. It's all types of people being officers, man. They don't do thorough background checks on officers. FBI put out a report that a lot of white supremacists are police officers. They've infiltrated the police academy very well. Come on, Johnson, this is where you been. I know it's a lot of racists and bigots in military. I saw an article on that. Damn sure a lot of bigots and racists in the damn law enforcement. Anything that has to do with guns or scalpels or teaching classes. I mean, see, this is the thing people don't get, man. This is everywhere. You can't outrun bigots. There's nowhere to hide, Johnson. I know, I've tried. You cannot get away from discrimination. Back to this thing. Another donation to Shesky was associated with the official email address of Officer Pat Gaynor of the Pleasant Prairie, Wisconsin Police Department. Given under this name, PPPD Motor 179. The comment was, "Stay strong, brother." Brother. 32 more donations totaling more than $5,000 came to Shesky from a private email address associated with Kenosha officers. That's right, all the officers, the blue, the wall of blue. Hey, man, sometimes you got to shoot a guy in the back because he's trying to go home with his kids. Right? Right. That dangerous criminal trying to go home with his kids, man. Got to get it. Can't be going home with your kids when I'm trying to put you through the prison industrial complex to make money for this shitty-ass state. Get in here. I'm not going to read any more of this article because I don't feel like reading anymore. There's a couple more people on the list. I forget. Just other horrible people or controversial figures getting money from law enforcement. Because our law enforcement does whatever it wants to do. And of course, this is not an indictment of every person who works as a cop. It's not. I saw the dumbest fucking post I've seen in a long time. From Candace Bigsby. And she said, as I read the post, I was just thinking, exactly what Dave Chappelle said. She is she's the dumbest literate person I've known. Seriously. And as I read it, I just thought of somebody pretending to be naive. I mean, there's no one this naive. Now, I'm paraphrasing, but her tweet went like this. You know, only, I don't know, let's say, only 5,000 people get killed by cops every year. But doctors accidentally kill 20,000 people every year. Why is it that we expect so much of cops? Why do we judge them so harshly? And then that dumbass tweet, it was, I don't know, it was shared like 50,000 times, some crazy number of times. People shared and liked that tweet because that's what morons want to hear. That's what the not vote blue, but the Blue Lives Matter people want to hear. That's what they want. That's their thing, man. That's why they applied for. Because, see, a cop that shoots people without them going to trial is the same as a doctor who makes a mistake. Yeah. First of all, I'm not always sure that cops are making a mistake. Okay? I'm not always sure of that. The cop that shot Adam Toledo, that wasn't no mistake. I mean, he meant to shoot him. He shouldn't have. If you say stop running and I stop, you don't get to shoot me then. I did what you said. I may have took a while to do it, but I did it. You might as well shot me while I was running. If you're going to shoot me once I stop and listen to you. There are biases in medical field as well, Candace. My dumb friend who's praised by morons. They're a cop. It's a well-known, like, you're a moron because you don't even know the remotely the stats on how doctors treat black people, generally speaking. Not all doctors, but there's heavy discrimination in the medical field. Heavy discrimination in the patients. You just think all black people got different outcomes with their health because we just don't care about ourselves. As if the average white person eating barbecue every other day gives a whole hell of a lot about themselves, huh? This is the type of stupidity. Now, man, we got racist doctors and lawyers and bellhops and waitresses and waiters, and you do. Just like you got, I don't know, any other type of hateful person. I mean, there's no rule that people can't be a certain way to get a job, dumbass. And then those people use their authority or their position to do what they would normally do. I mean, within the realms of getting away with it, I mean, that's what people do. I'm not saying something that's rocket science. I know you don't want to, most people don't want to think about it, especially when it don't impact their ass, but it's just what it is. Anyway, I don't want to stay all night on that because, we talk about it all the time. What does it change? Not a damn thing. Nothing. Is it okay if I go on Tucker Carlson and basically, you know, Jesus Christ, man. Man, this thing between Jimmy Dore and Sam Cedar is funny. I'm gonna stay out of it, man. I got enough trouble. Every time I turn around, I'm in trouble. Yeah. That's hilarious. Them brothers came for me, though, didn't they? You sent that space monkey. Sent that motherfucker. So, I'm going to check the comment section before we go to phone calls. What's going on, Blog? Oh, damn. What's going on, YouTube? Silly Boo in the house. Oh. This show is sponsored by Silly Boo. Sponsored by Silly Boo tonight. She says, Tim, thanks for all your hard work covering the Chauvin trial. You're the only progressive who has covered the trial. I appreciate your every minute of your analysis. Oh, shit. I want you to know, Silly Boo, I really appreciate that. I really do. I think I paid a little price with my health on this. But I'm going to get it taken care of. It'll be okay. I think it just took a toll on me emotionally and a little bit spiritually, you know what I'm saying? But, and it then reminded me why I kind of got away from this kind of content at a point. There's shooting so much, there's so much death, you know? But the George Floyd case is so important. I think it's going to go down as being a pivotal moment. It's either going to pivot us into a better direction or pivot us into a worse direction. And I damn sure didn't want to sit on the sidelines. That's all I knew. I knew that it was important for this show, if it's going to stand for something, that I needed to represent and cover that. I mean, I would rather be on Fox News talking to Tucker Carlson about Hunter Biden. But that's important too. I'd rather be doing that because that's definitely a lot more lucrative for the show. But nah, here I am covering door to door, bell to bell, the George Floyd, Derek Chauvin killing of George Floyd trial. And of course, all of my friends shared it. All my friends in left media shared it. They shared my relentless coverage of this. And they invited me on their shows to talk about it because they weren't covering it. And they knew that, damn, he's covered it for 14 days. I'm sure he knows a lot about this case. Maybe I should bring him on so he could talk about it. Yeah, that's what I should do because Tim Black has dedicated, I don't know, maybe 70, 80, 90 hours of his life to this case that I didn't cover. Yeah. I never want to hear anymore. This is all I want, guys. I don't want to hear anybody else saying Tim doesn't work well with others. Now if you can see why I don't work with a lot of people. Because everybody wants Tim, but they don't help Tim. Think of all the people that came through this show. If you've been here, think about it. Just think about all the people that came through the Tim Black show. Think about all these people I brought on here. How much giving back have I really got? And look, I'm not bitter, man. I just want you to see. I already know it. I already know. This is for you to see. So you can stop believing anything anybody tells you. Just tells you stuff to bash me. You take a look yourself. That's all. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to convince you. I'm just telling you to look for yourself. And then also tell me how we going to get... So you know this story. You know this lawsuit is very important to black people, right? This is the main thing, okay? Okay, just based on the country. Now I know it should be important to all of us. Don't get me twisted. Don't get me twisted. Don't get me mixed up. I believe that this George Floyd case is important to everybody. It should be important to everybody. And I believe that a lot of people they do value what this is going to mean for the country, what it could mean. And I also believe, and I know, because I saw all colors of people, all walks of life out there protesting. So I'm not selling those people short. But what I'm saying is, being as it was a black man who was murdered slowly on film, being as though we had the history that we have in this country, of man after black person killed by cops. This, you'd have to admit, this is a big deal to black people. Right? How many people think that this is a big deal for black people? Raise your hand. Can I get some love on this? Can I get some comment section? You know what I'm saying? So, here's my point. one of the things I wanted to do is I wanted to help black people vote more progressive. And I wanted them to think that don't listen to this bullshit about progressives not caring about black issues, because that's what they say. That's what the center, that's what the more moderate Democrats say. That's what some of the black people that consider themselves lefties but not progressives say. They say those white progressives don't care about black issues. That's been a criticism that they've said to me. Tim, why are you dealing with these people? They don't care about black issues. Real talk. One of the criticisms they gave Bernie Sanders was they believed that Bernie didn't care about black issues. For some reason, I guess they thought Kamala did. I don't think they thought Kamala did either. But they could say that. That's one of the criticisms. How can we get those people to change their minds when we don't even cover their goddamn stories? I think this is a demonstration that they're not wrong. I'm not talking about everybody. I'm talking about those. I'm just saying, like, generally speaking. I mean, isn't that a talking point? That they'll have to be like, yo, none of these people covered this trial. Some of them covered Adam Toledo, though. Maybe because it was only one day. It wasn't much commitment. So all I'm saying is, I want black folks to get something for their vote. If black folks get something for their vote, then they can't just skate by with a Joe Biden, right? Not giving a shit, okay? Hard to make the move and help them, influence them to make the move further left if at the end of the day, people don't value their issues. They say everything's class. When George Floyd gets murdered, and for a whole summer there's protests all over the globe, they don't even cover the story on their channels that they own. We don't got to talk about Fox. We don't got to talk about MSNBC or any other place. I'm talking about independent media. We own it and we didn't cover it. So I'm going to get off my soapbox. I'm going to go to phone calls. What I'm saying is you can't be mad and say, these people don't vote, these people don't do this, these people don't do that. When these people see what you did, they see, not you guys, not you. You here, you watch me. I'm the one that covered it. You good. Right? What I'm saying is, it sounds hypocritical as hell to complain about what people don't do when you don't do what you're supposed to do, when you don't cover it. I'll be able to go into any place in South Carolina, North Carolina, right? Talk to these people, Ohio, and say, understand this, I understand that, I understand what you're going through. I'm an activist for criminal justice reform. I support the move to end qualified immunity. I've had this guest on, this guest on, this guest on. Go to inqualifiedimmunity.com. See, I'm a part of the program for ending qualified immunity. My picture's on the website. I'm promoting the book about qualified immunity. I watched and covered and did a show every day on the George Floyd trial. I did a special segment, a series of videos about inspiring black women. That's what I did. Just because I'm black, that doesn't mean I shouldn't just do that because I'm black. I should do that because I'm on the left. That's my point. Because I want to have credibility in a space to talk to these people and for them to say, okay, let's verify this guy has been doing the work. I didn't have a very extensive relationship with Erica Garner, but we did talk. And one thing she did say to me, and she said it in a tweet, I have it in writing. Tim Black, you know I love you. You always got our back. That's what she said. So, it's a little disappointing. But like I said, This is just to say, because a few months ago, people said a lot of horrible things about me, and a lot of people believed it because of what people said. Then I show you what I am. I show you what I'm about. I show you what I care about. And I'm not saying those people, I'm not. I show you. I give you the proof. Here's the proof. That's something I said in a tweet one time. Here goes the proof. And my actions are proof of me, right? Their actions should be a proof of them. We are what we do, not what we say we do. We are what we do. You are what you do. If you're a good mother, it's what you do. It's not because I'm a good mother. No. It's when you nurse the children back to health. When you get up in the middle of the night for a crying child. When you get out and go to work, even when you're tired or when your feet hurt or when your back hurts. When you're juggling bills and you're trying to figure out where the next meal is going to come from. Oh, how are you going to do this? How are you going to do that? You're a good dad when you are throwing the ball around with your kid or helping with homework or washing the dishes for your wife and telling her to have a seat. You got this. When you're going to work, when you're tired, when you feel like you're on your last leg and you go anyway, when you're not feeling good and you don't even say nothing, you just keep going. You're a good friend. When your friend needs a ride in the middle of the night, you get up and you go get him. When someone you know needs a little help, you show up with bells on. What's up? I got you. Oh man, you ain't got to thank me. That's what I'm here for. See, we're not what we say we are, we're what we do. That's all. That's all I want to show. We are what we do, and we are what we don't do. So, yeah, you could go on this show and that show and say this thing or do that thing or whatever. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to what you do. No plaques should be erected, right? For somebody doing what they're supposed to do. I'm not saying that. But it does define you. What you do defines you. And all I'm saying is 14 days is a lot of days not to do the damn thing. That's all. One day, I get it. This was a decision. This was a business decision. It was also a political decision. Get what I'm saying? Sort of like one of the only channels on the left that covers reparations. You don't think that cost me something, covering reparations? You know, I look at my data. I can see people unsubscribe. Oftentimes, people unsubscribe while they watch a certain video. One thing YouTube has is a lot of analytics, dog. I get a list of analytics showing me exactly what videos people were watching when they decided, fuck Tim Black. I have that list. If I told you what was on that list, some of you would be sad. Disagreeing with Candace Owens. 12 people unsubscribed. How they became fans of the Tim Black Show, I have no idea. Can you imagine that? While watching it. Oh shit, he defended Candace Owens. I quit. That was it. I could complain all day, but who gives a shit, man? We got so many other things going on. Who cares, right? I'm just telling you what I think. What's going on, man? We got fucking Joe Biden. We got Joe Biden in the office. And I need him to be more progressive, man. I would like to see a very progressive president in my lifetime, man. I don't know if that's ever going to happen. And I can only imagine, only way we even get close to that is if we get black folks to vote more progressively. Kind of hard to do that when they don't think you care about them. And I'm not saying it's true that no one cares about them, but if we don't show it by what we do, what good is what we say? Just saying. Can't say you relate to a person. You got to show them you relate to a person. And to relate to a person, you got to know what's on their mind. You got to know what's important to them. You got to know what they care about. You got to care about that. Anyway. Once again, I appreciate all you guys. I'm going to I don't even need to take a break, man. It was a kind of a light night for me. So I like to go right to phone calls, get you guys in here. I've been hearing stuff about war and Biden, and I know that concerns a lot of folks, and it damn sure should. It damn sure should, because you know who goes to war in this country. And you know who we go to war against. So, and we know what we go to war and the expense of. It's a lose, 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 ain't it, for us? Lose, 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 lose. Triple lose. To talk about Kyle. But my thing is Kyle, and of course, I think he should be convicted. I think he should be punished. All those good things, right? But we keep making Kyles. And of course, Kyle Rittenhouse, right? We continue to make Kyle Rittenhouses in this country. How? How do we keep making Kyle Rittenhouses? At some point, America's got to look at America and say, how does this keep happening? And stop acting like it just happens by happenstance. Where some atoms bumped into each other and then something fell out the sky and then a strange mammal climbed up and bit it and then wind blew and then the lightning struck. No, stop. No, stop acting like it's a fantastical thing. Supernatural action created this. No, we're sharing this out on a regular basis, like an assembly line. We create white supremacist assholes. Mass shooting white supremacist assholes. We keep creating them. And at some point, maybe we should figure that out and stop creating that. Crazy talk, right? That's crazy. At some point, we should say, hey, man, why do these people in these areas who have lead poisoning and bad water, contaminated air, contaminated water, why do they keep acting this way towards each other? I don't know. Maybe we should do a study on that. Maybe we should figure that out, and maybe we should repair that instead of going, hey, what's going on over there? And making money off of talking about it. Just a thought, man. Just a thought. I had a story idea, man. I had a story idea, Johnson, but I think it's a little too lit for TV. You know what I'm saying? A little bit too lit for TV. A little bit too rich. Bose Einstein said bad air and bad water damage brains. It sure do, Johnson. It sure does. All right, guys. I'm ready to rock. I'm ready to go to phone calls. because I'm sure we got some callers on the line who got stuff to say. I think I said enough for one day. Lord knows I don't need no more beef with people. Had enough beefing with people. It doesn't help. Let's rock out. Let's make this happen, people. Let's make it happen. Let's go with our first caller. Freedom Friday. I'm going to shut up. I'm going to my first caller. I got an 817 number in the queue. 817, you're live. Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hi, my name is Candace. I'm calling from Arlington, Texas. What's up, Tim?
What's going on, Candace? What's
going
on your mind?
Wolfpack?
Hey. Talk to me.
Okay, look, I want to talk about Texas, how the Texas Supreme Court has reinstated evictions. They have gave the landlords and property owners to go ahead and evict people, even though the moratorium has been signed. They still are evicting people. So next month is going to be crazy. It's going to be tens of thousands of people out on the street, homeless, with kids and everything, including myself. So we need to talk about that, and I'd love if you could just, shout out to Texas and get something going down here.
Absolutely, Candace. Goodness gracious, babe. I had no idea. I hadn't heard about that.
Yes.
Okay.
They have tied the judge's hands, the ones that stayed the eviction or halted the eviction. They have tied their hands. They have to call special hearings to the people who they stayed the eviction and tell them that they will be evicted. Okay. And they're giving the landlords options to collect money from some kind of stimulus that they just passed, the federal government, and the landlords are opting out to do so. They do not want to take the money, and they're paying 12 months previous rent and 12 months future rent, and landlords are still kicking people out.
I gotta definitely report on this. Yeah.
Look, we have to. If any Texas people is listening, we have to fight. These people are trying to kill us. And that's all I want to say. Thank you for listening to me. I love your show. I've been watching since 2017, I think, and it's a breath. It's a breath-taking show. It's a great show.
Well, Candace, thank you so much for calling up, sister. And you got my back. I got your back. And believe me, I will be covering this story. I had no idea. And maybe that'll be what this show's about, man. Kind of get me back up to speed on some things when I was so involved in that George Floyd trial. Now that that's going to the jury starting Monday, it'll free me back up. You know what I'm saying? So, damn it, Candace, I don't know what to say, man. That really pisses me off. I can't even believe they could legally do that shit. I'm gonna be all over this. How the fuck could they do this? Something's got to happen, Candace. I strongly believe something's going to happen where the government's going to have to step in. Have to step in. So, folks, we're going to have to mobilize behind this. Hard. I think I had some sway enough to get a ripple going. You know what I'm saying? Where we can reach out and I can tag a couple of Congress people and hopefully a Congressperson to be that I know is a fighter for the people, y'all. And see if I can get Senator Nina Turner maybe to do a retweet or we get something going on this. We can get something going on this, sister. Believe that. Thank you so much for the phone call. 470, you're live, Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
This is Damon from Atlanta. Shout out to Mr. and Mrs. Black and the Wolf Pack as always. And I wanted to talk about how there's a certain segment of white America that are absolutely cowards. They're racist to the core, but too wicked to just come out and admit it. And that comes in the wake of George Floyd and Dante up there in Minnesota, where there's never a case of police brutality where they don't take the cop's side. Whether the black person complies or not is irrelevant because they can still end up dead. And even when it's on tape, they find some excuse. And I've seen white people absolutely show their ass to the cops, and they ain't lived to tell about it. And so the thing is, the energy is diametrically opposed when it comes to black folks. Because, like I said, black folks can comply. They can say, "Hey, hands up." You know, the soldier that was at the gas station where the cops immediately, they did not de-escalate. They escalated that thing from the jump. You know what I mean? And so it's like you give me conflicting orders, and so whichever one I do, you can kind of justify and say, well, I told him to do this, he did the other thing. Well, you gave him multiple orders, so depending on which, what he's thinking at the time, I mean, you can justify anything, right? And so then there's something about Minnesota too, where Muhammad Noir got jail time. That wasn't even on tape. And he tried to do the get out of jail free card while I feared for my life, but he still ended up in jail. Now, is it coincidence that the victim was a white woman, right? But when it's a black man, it's just like, oh, whatever. He may not have done anything this time, but he could have done something at some point in time. And so the whole George Floyd case is absolutely sickening, where they're trying to make it seem like, well, he did drugs back in the day. I'm like, okay, look, here's the thing. We supposed to have a rule of law in this country. If we have a rule of law, the police job is to arrest the person, give them their day in court. You've seen white people literally murder people, and they will take them to Burger King. They'll, arrest them gently, put them softly into the police car, give them their day in court. And then at the mere thought of a black dude possibly, theoretically, hypothetically having a gun, you just want to pump him full of lead and at point blank range. And the thing is, the woman that shot Dante Walker up there, if you are a 26-year police veteran and you do not know the difference between a taser and a gun, at some point we got to stop saying these people are well trained. Because Jesus Christ, there is no way in this world you are on the job for 26 years, you do not know the difference between a gun and a taser. And also, if you are that scary to where, look, if he had a warrant out for his arrest, what was the warrant for? Was it for murder? No. Was it for a nonviolent offense at best, right? So you know where he lives. You've got his license plate. You know where he lives. So if nothing else, show up at his house at a later time when you've got full backup and just take him into court. You know what I mean? Arrest him, take him, and give him his day in court, do whatever. But they always use it as justification to just pick us off and shoot us without justification, and it's ridiculous. So all that to say, to wrap it up, this is not about all white folks, right? So we got to make sure that's clear, because whenever black folks, we complain about racism in America, you've got some people who get all butthurt and say, well, I'm not racist. Well, if you're not racist, then cool, it doesn't apply to you. But for the racist people it does apply to, they can go straight to hell. So with all that to say, Tim Black, love you a long time, man. Keep doing what you do, and go Wolfpack.
You got it, Damon. Thanks for the phone call, man. My man D, he hit everything. D ran down the balcony, down the aisle, man. It was snapping high fives all the way down the aisle. That's how he hit it, man. He hit on every story I covered this week. He condensed it, man. It's like the Tim Black Show overview. But look, here's the thing, man. He's right about, someone said it. The worst place for black folks to live is an imagination of white people. Because they'll imagine you. It ain't you. They see you as this other thing. I think we all do that to each other to a certain extent. But the problem is, there's these institutions that are racist as hell. And the problem is, one side got all the power, the other side don't have any of the power. So I tell people that, you don't understand, yeah, there's one thing to be a bigot or to have biases. Everybody's got that. But some people don't have any power to do anything with those biases, other than talk shit in their bedrooms. Other people own businesses that don't hire these people. Right? Other people had football teams where they, won't let people, they own networks, and they won't let people start channels, or they won't allow them to won't give them advertising, won't advertise on their programs. You understand what I'm saying? Like, there's power, bias, racism is bias, bigotry with power combined. Because you can't be racist to somebody if you can't hold them down. But anyway, back to those shootings, brother. I covered those shootings, and I'm just hearing people bring up things that are not relevant to what happened. You don't get to say this person was a bad person, therefore they deserve to die. You don't get to do that. This person did this thing, so therefore now the cop doesn't have to do their job because this person did that. No, that's not how that's supposed to work. Cops supposed to do their job. The legal system's supposed to do their job. Cops aren't supposed to do the legal system's job. What the fuck are you talking about? So Dante Wright should have been able to go to trial. And if he had one case that was pending, one case he had an open warrant for, a failure to appear, for a possession of a gun. They had another case that they said he may have been involved in a robbery or something. That's a case that he didn't have a warrant on. I've seen people make all these claims. He didn't have a warrant on that case yet. He missed the court date in April. That's what his warrant was for. But none of that matters. I just want to clear it up so you stop saying asinine, dumb shit you heard on Fox. Hannity's an asshole. I know, I met him at Politicon. Hey, guys, how you doing? Shut the fuck up. Get out of here. Barney Rubble-looking motherfucker, get out of here. You're not popular. Thing is, what you did that day has no bearing on what the cops did. What matters is the arrest. Safety. Put him in, arrest the guy. Don't kill a guy, arrest him. All I'm saying is we can find a way to arrest shooters that shoot 8 people at one time. You can find a way to arrest a guy who had a gun, had no license for his gun. You could find a way. If you really wanted to, you could say, hey, I'm not going to shoot this guy. I've seen cops do it. I've seen cops beg guys not to make them shoot him. Please, man, I seen it. Guy had a knife. He's cut up the cop. Cop's like, man, put the knife down, man. Put the knife down. Please put the knife down. Don't make me shoot you, man. Cop don't want to do suicide by cop. He's like, no, man. See, there's different types of cops. All cops aren't the same. He begged the guy. He didn't shoot the guy. I saw one. Now, this is a white guy, of course. I saw one where there were 2 officers, and the suspect had a knife, and they didn't want to shoot him so bad he grabbed one of the officers. Like, they let him get so close, he grabbed an officer, and the officers had to shoot him while he was holding the other officer. That's how long they waited. It's just all in the brain. Like, a person has to decide, do I want to be a killer or do I not want to be a killer? And it keeps seeming like they're making their decisions. I listened to the story of Kobe Heisler. Kobe Heisler. Dimmock. Based on the call that came in here last week. And I got an email about the case. And it's so heart-wrenching. Did you know almost half of the cop shootings, I'm going to go to the next call, but I want you guys to know, almost half of all cop shootings involve somebody with special needs or autism or on the spectrum. That's a travesty. That's a fucking travesty, man. Being sick should not be a jail sentence. Having a condition should not equal death. I'm just thinking about that mother's voice crying out for a child. And we just keep letting it happen. And then we got people like Candace Bigsby going, well, doctors kill people, not even addressing the issue we're talking about. Instead, switches the subjects to a whole different line of business. What about doctors? But they're happy with that. They go, good. We love her. 3 million people follow her. Because that's what they want. Here's the deal, man. We tell people they want them to do it. We tell people out of our mouths, be upstanding people. Fight the good fight. Don't sell out. The only time we really award them as a society is when they sell out. Fight the good fight. Do the right thing. Stand up. And what do we do? What do we do? Think about it. Think about it, Johnson. Most watched network on TV, Fox. And look, I'm not giving Don Lemon and Joy Reid and Rachel Maddow and Jake Tapper and Chuck Todd, and none of them are passed. Not at all. Them too. They're rewarded as well. I'm going to go next call. I want to appreciate you guys having patience. I said I wasn't going to go on and on, but Damon inspired me, so you know what it is. 619. 619, you're live, Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
I wasn't going to go on and on, but Damon inspired me, so you know what it is. 619. 619, you're live, Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hello?
Yeah, 619.
Hello?
619, yes.
Yeah, I appreciate everything you do a lot. You're about the only person I listen to on YouTube. So black people are the reason that Joe Biden won the election. I mean, it's as simple as that. A lot of white people voted, but without the black people, he never would have won. And the only thing that matters in this country is money.
Hold on, man. Hold on a second. Why did Trump win? Say white people, motherfucker.
I don't know.
Say white people. You said black people got
that?
Biden in. You said black people got Biden in. Who got Trump in?
Bunch of white people.
There you go. At least go tit for tat, homie. Now, who were black people supposed to vote for?
I didn't want to vote for the lesser of two.
Who were black people supposed to vote for?
Well, I for myself, I only saw Biden as a choice because I felt like Trump was so bad and he was becoming an absolute dictator. And if he got in another 4 years, I have no idea how bad it would have gotten. And not that it wasn't bad enough. I didn't want to go and vote for him. I really didn't. But I'm grateful for black people coming out and voting for Biden, because if they wouldn't have, he wouldn't be in the White House. And I resent the fact that he spoke to the Black Caucus people the way that he did after he was elected, when, in fact, again, black people put him in there.
I get your point.
But you know, and you feel free to cut me off at any point, and or take me to the woodshed. I'll take it like a man. I listen to you to learn. And so anyway, my point is that money is the only thing that counts in this culture. And I really feel like, you know, that when people say it's time for the conversation, if I hear that one more time, I'm going to throw up all over everything. I mean, it makes me sick, and I'm 67 years old, and if I get the average number of years the average man gets, I mean, I've got maybe another 11, 12 years, and I don't want to leave this planet with all this shit going on. And it's never going to stop unless people band together and literally, in whatever the biggest way it can be done, is go on strike. And if that means just taking to the streets in a nonviolent kind of way and just stop everything, bring this country to a screeching fucking halt, because that would mean money to all these pieces of shit that run our government. And I think the reason for all this going on, the corporations own everything. It's all about the money, and they own all the politicians except for maybe about 10 or 12, I guess, something like that. And incremental, if you look at it in the dictionary, we know what incremental means, but in Washington, D.C., incremental means it ain't going to fucking happen. That's what it means. So this idea that people say, like, I listen to this asshole on the PBS NewsHour, David Brooks, and he said, no, things are getting better in so many words because a few less people are getting shot. You know, and it doesn't matter how many body cameras, how many cell phones. These cops are not going to stop, and no one's going to stop. It's like gun violence and limiting guns and all that. That's never going to happen. It doesn't matter how many people get killed. It doesn't matter. And there's so many things I wanted to bring up, but I got a call from Nina Turner's people, and she's the only person I contribute money to. And so I gave some money, and then I got to talking to this gal, you know, that called me, a volunteer, and like we were having our own fan club meeting there on the phone together about Nina Turner. And so I said, boy, what I'd give to talk to her someday. And I said, you know, and he said, well, you know, she mans the phone sometimes. And I said, really? And she goes, yeah, she does. And so she, just a minute, let me talk to somebody. I forget who it was. And she said, you know, Nina Turner's on the phone today. And I said, you know, boy, if I could talk to her, that would be like my lucky day. So I said, well, and they said, wait a minute, we'll have Nina call you this afternoon. So I like duct taped my phone to my ear, and you know, she did call me. She called me, man, and I was just like dumbstruck and starstruck. And I mean, it was really her. And I bounced this idea off of her. And, you know, I wanted to bounce this idea off of you a long time ago. But like I told her, I said, you know, black people have been told what to do by white people for hundreds of years. And I come to you, Tim Black, and I said to Nina Turner, I come to you in a very humble kind of way. And I do. And I bounced this idea off of her, and she listened to me and all like that. And I wanted to, I was thinking of what would be the right way of laying this on you. For months now, I've been thinking about that. And I thought, well, you know, I mean, I've called you a couple times before, and you talked to so many people you're not going to remember, but I said, you know how smart I am? And I said, I'm smart enough to know you're smarter than me. And actually, I always thought I was kind of dumb for a lot of different reasons. And I actually know that I am fairly bright, but you're like really bright. And so, I mean, that's my idea. I think it's the only thing that will possibly work. And fighting all these different fights and getting the cops to change and getting this to happen and that to happen and the other bullshit to happen. There's it's too long of a laundry list. I think it's got to be handled once and for all. It's got to concern money. And, you know, like in France, the government is afraid of the people. In America, the people are afraid of the government. Let's fucking use our voices and do something and just get it organized somehow. I don't know how. The only way I can think of to do that is to call Nina Turner and to call you. And I don't know, I don't know who the leaders. I saw a press conference and that, Benjamin Crump, I'm not going to be able to get him on the phone, but I saw him at the press conference, and that guy's a tough act to follow. I mean, that guy is great. But they brought on, I'm probably going to say her name wrong, but Naisha Wright, who is the auntie of Dante White. And I'm going to tell you, that was the most electrifying thing I've ever seen anywhere, anytime. And that includes in person, on television. And, that woman had more passion. It was electrifying for me. And, bringing up that they took that piece of shit to Burger King after they arrived. What is that? He slaughtered a bunch of human beings. It makes me sick to my stomach. There are people that would do that. But anyway, I
gotta let it go, brother.
Yeah, that's all I had to say.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you so much for everything you do, and you got to know that you're appreciated. I sure appreciate you, and thank you for everything you do.
We appreciate you, man. Thanks for the phone call.
Goodbye.
Man. You got it, brother. I gotta say, man, I thought you were going another way with that phone call, man. I came in a little hot. Because to me, man, I still look at voting for Biden as a little bit of a diss. I mean, and I know this, people. I know it's like, okay, which one's going to be? But I don't feel good about it. Not really. You know what I'm saying? And I guess if we went the other way, I wouldn't feel good about that either. That's how it is. It's like you ever order something and it's like, God, I shouldn't have got that. I should have got that, but you don't know, because if you would have got that, you may have been like, damn, I shouldn't have got that. I should have got that, and that's how I feel. Because we know we're not getting what we want, really, either way. What you wanted to do is go to the store with Mrs. Black, pick up the ingredients, bring them back home, and cook something yourself. That way, it wasn't dropped on the floor or spit on during preparation. I'm a pretty good cook, by the way, too. But anyway, back to my point, man. My bad for thinking you meant that in a weird way, like you were beating up on black folks. Because I get that a lot. People are like, black people voted for Biden. Why are you voting for Biden? Like, what are they supposed to do? They've been watching MSNBC all fucking CNN for the last... They only got like 5 black anchors on TV or whatever, and they all work for lefties. And they've been watching how Trump's horrible and the racist, philandering racist, grab them on both sides, jackass, for 3 years on these channels. And then you go, why'd they vote for Biden? And they've been watching, meanwhile, how Biden was the first white man to ever treat the first black president like a real man. He didn't disrespect him not one time. They never disrespect. He took a step down to work for that black man and held his pride in it, shut his mouth and did what he had to do to support him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I realize that things have context. But I'm going to go to the next call, man. I appreciate everybody being patient on that. Got so much to do, Johnson. 845, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
What's going on, Tim? My name's Joe. How you doing?
I'm good, man.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. Who's this?
Hey, my name's Joe. How's it going? From I live in Florida, from New York.
That's cool, Joe.
All right. So, what's up?
No, you're good, Joe. Go right ahead, brother.
Okay. All right. Someone wanted to complain to you about the Rittenhouse thing. That sounds boring as hell. So, I want to talk about like the Black Lives Matter and like anti-police sentiment. So I agree police need to be defunded and all that jazz, but I think, I guess a monologue for a second here. The way movements generally work is they get like propped up behind symbols. So like, it's very visceral when you see, a black person getting butchered by the police, So it's very easy to start a symbol behind that. But as a result, all the focus goes into the police because they're the ones doing the brutality instead of like real problems or not. Sorry, not that it's not a real problem. That is obviously a serious problem. The police are super racist and a part of that structural racism. But a huge part of that structural racism is the court system and the prison system. But because it's less visceral, you don't see people getting, when a judge slams the gavel, puts someone in prison for 15 years, you just don't, people are like, oh, that's just how things are supposed to go. Even though it's honestly more horrific because of the scale which it happens than, people getting slaughtered by the police like halal. And similarly in jails and prisons, where people are just mistreated and brutalized, you also don't see as much reform focused in that direction. So I guess I find that a little like disappointing, even though I know that's how, movements generally function. So I don't know, I guess I want your feedback on that. You agree, disagree?
Well, go ahead, brother. Well, that's your comment?
Well, yeah, I want to see if you agreed or disagreed with any of that. I think there's an overemphasis on focusing on police reform when I think there's other stuff that's optically a little bit easier, like criminal justice system reform overall, that I don't think gets the attention it deserves.
Okay, well, I don't agree, man. I think that we have different movements. We have different. Let's get this straight, fam. Let's get this straight. First of all, Black Lives Matter have been propped up by organizations and the powers that be, basically. They're the ones that decided this is going to be the thing that we capitalize off of. I mean, come on, guys. The actual founders of Black Lives Matter are not even the people that run the organization currently. So, we have grassroots organizations. This is one grassroots organization that some other folks saw that they could take advantage of and be able to generate this thing from it. Because there are all types of organizations all across the country that do damn good work, that don't get that type of recognition, don't get that type of promotion. And as far as criminal justice reform, there are great people that work in that organ, that work for that cause all over the country, brother. And the fact that you think that that's what we want means that how can I say this? Of course, people want to utilize, people are energized and driven in a way that's, unparalleled when they see imagery. Imagery, of course, drives things. I mean, people like podcasts, but people like movies too. Okay? People like to visually see something. You can't get it out your head. What I saw, I can't get out my head. That's the power of any image. And that's what Black Lives Matter in the age of cell phones, smartphones, video content, that's where it was birthed, man. I mean, you saw a real life person being murdered on TV, Johnson. There are people traumatized by that shit. So of course it's going to have legs. But please do not marginalize or do not disrespect all the people all across the country, fam, Joe, that are doing real work, man. They're doing real work to try to fight police reform. The system doesn't want to reform police. The system doesn't want to reform criminal justice. The system doesn't. I'm trying to fight. I'm fighting right now for ending qualified immunity. Right now. And where'd that come from? Well, all these lawsuits against police officers where they get off. So, once again, just to wrap it up, man, I believe, yes, it's lopsided how much attention Black Lives Matter gets. But that's not because of us. That's not because of you. That's not because of me. That's because people wanted it that way. And they're not talking about poverty and homelessness and lack of medical care, right? They're not talking about all these things. We can go on and on, all the things that they should be talking about as well, because all of them are relevant. But there's a reason why they're not talking about us not having health care. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why they're not talking about us and criminal justice reform at the same level, with the same amount of attention and media coverage and awareness. Not because people don't care. I mean, if we got all these people in jail, they came from somebody's families. So, brother, that's my stance on that, fam. And give it up for Joe calling in, man. Yeah, man, don't fall for the okie doke, family. Don't fall for the okie doke. You know, there are a lot of, you sound like a white guy, there are a lot of initiatives that white people lead that you would be like, man, I'm not, that's not important to me. You know what I'm saying? That may get coverage, you'd be like, what's that? You know? Same thing works for us. In fact, man, the media just uses black people issues. They don't really give a damn about our issues, man. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, let's everybody wake up and realize they really don't care. Maybe that's why some people didn't cover the George Floyd case, because they really don't care. So why patronize? Why pretend to care a damn about these particular issues? I know they're supposed to say they care, but if you really don't care, then why cover it? But our media game is a totally different game where it's dollars generated revenue. This George Floyd thing had no revenue. Out of 15 videos I've done on George Floyd, the only video that YouTube monetized for me was the last one, which is the wrap-up of saying, this thing's now going to the jury. All the other videos, so every video I did on George Floyd was pro bono. Every live stream, every video I did, staying up to 6 and 7 o'clock in the morning, cutting videos and editing them. And I'm a one-man shop. I couldn't give that to an intern to do. You know what I'm saying? So this is our model. This is America. This is the model that we have. Now, those networks, on the other hand, woo, they generate big revenue from it. It's the opposite with them. They cover it because they do make money, Johnson. They do get to put ads on their shit. CNN ran ads. They run ads on their coverage. Maybe not the live stream that they don't own, but they ran it on everything else. I saw where they were talking for an hour before the George Floyd trial would begin and an hour after, advertising all types of shit. So they cover stuff to make money. Man, there's so many stories, man. I told somebody this last week. And the brother meant well. He had a lot of good points, but he said one thing about Benjamin Crump, and I had to correct him. I don't know Benjamin Crump personally, but I do know I've met so many sisters and brothers of every color, mostly of the same class, who had a sad story to tell that no one would publicize for them. And I'm trying to tell you, it ain't ambulance chasers that are the problem. It's a lack of media access for people with real shit that those networks don't deem to be productive for them or of the right narrative for them. I'm going to go to the next call, Joe. But you inspire me, brother. Keep it up. 214. 214, you're live, Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
You know, you said 214, so who are you expecting me to be? Trill in the South.
What's up, brother?
That's the only way I do it. And so I want to shout out to the young lady earlier from Texas. I'm in Texas as well. I was based out of Dallas the majority of my time when working. So what the landlords are doing by not accepting that money from the government is they're kind of setting you up to say their type of so-called clientele, which is to say, if you were late or not able to pay rent for any reason, they just don't want you in there, even if they get the government's money from you. They want to have permission now to remove you because they don't want you in there, regardless of what your reason was for, whether it was valid or not. They don't want you there. They want to get you out and bring somebody in that might, in their opinion, never miss a rent payment or not miss a rent payment for the next month or 2 years or 5 years. So that's all they're trying to do right there. At the same time in Texas, what happened was the Texas House passed a bill, which is not fully through, but it will pass through the Senate likely, to make it so that you could carry a weapon on the streets, no permit, a concealed weapon, or an open carry with no need for permits anymore. So you could just, if you can legally own it, you can carry it. Now, how they can tell that just on sight, we can see what that's going to be. If you're a white guy on the street with an AR-15, well, you must own it legally. I mean, you know, you're a white guy, right? But if you're a black guy who's out on the street and you carry, open carry, well, how could you own that? That's got to be illegal. We're going to stop you. We're going to frisk you. We're going to do whatever we can to violate your rights and punish you for doing something that what you've done is illegal. Your skin color is the only thing that played into that, even though you did what was legal and what they passed. So we can already see where that's headed, and it will likely glide on through and become law in Texas. You know, I'm in Northeast Texas right now, just a little outside Dallas. This is Trump country. I'll say his name on here, even though we all hate him. We realize he was not the only problem that the country ever had. I mean, there were problems before Trump. There were problems during Trump. He's the dumpster fire. Joe Biden was trash, but we just remove him later on. And then we've got Joe Manchin, who simply is doing what Joe Biden wants him to do. He is acting as the shield for Joe Biden. So he can take all the incoming fire, but he also receives all the attention, the TV interviews, and so on and so on. But he's doing what Joe Biden wants him to do. The things that Joe Biden is unwilling to say or do, he's going to blame it on somebody else. Well, you know, Joe Manchin, you know, held us up in the Senate. We had to adjust this, whatever kind of bullshit he can say and throw on him. He's just acting as his shield. They're working together. Most of these people are working together to be against us, whether they're on the Republican side or the Democrat side. I don't like either. We know who's worse, but I don't like either, because what happened a long time ago is Ronald Reagan dragged the Republican Party much further to the right. And in doing that, at the same time, what he did was, you don't have the Democrats of the 70s. You have the Democrats of the 80s and 90s. Reagan drugged the Democrats further to the right as well. So Bill Clinton, half Republican or maybe partially was a Republican. What do you expect? Joe Biden is a Republican in my estimation. I call him a Reagan Republican myself, because he ran up in the upper Northeast in Delaware, where he could never win an election as a Republican. So he had to run as a Democrat, even though he had all Republican tendencies and policies that he supported. So it was just, what do I say, politics? Obviously, I'll say something like that stupid anyway. But I want to say, you know what the world needs as I look here? And I tune in here and I like to listen to people. I don't have an agenda of what to talk to beforehand. I listen to you. I listen to your audience because they're intelligent and have a lot of good opinions. And I like to go off of what they said a lot of times. One thing I won't go off of is, you need another project, Tim. You need the Tim and Trill podcast. That's so we can revolutionize the world and do like your man Craig Mack. Instead of flavor in your ear, we need the revolution in your ear. So, hey, keep doing your thing, man. I mean, I'm on your side. I'll shut up if you want to respond for a second, and I'll respond to that, or I'll get out of the way. Everybody needs to hit the like button, subscribe, join in, call in, make a move.
What? My brother Trill in the house. Good up for Trill, man. What? Trill said, the Trill and Tim podcast. Listen to my brother, man, coming up with ideas, man. You know, there is some changes with some new shows I want to add. It's just my damn schedule got so crazy, Johnson. I got a Studio B, this regular It's got like a background with a lamp. None of this, right? That I'm going to be doing. I was supposed to be launching another show. Me and Mrs. Black was talking about that. It's just, I'm just, bruh. I'm slammed with stuff to do. Damn. Thank you for the phone call, Trill. And I forget everything else you said once you said that, man. Got me thinking about podcasts and all the stuff I'm trying to do. I'm going to go next call. 352. Got another familiar voice on the show. 352, you're live. What's up, man? I can't hear you.
I got to take it off the mute. Tim, can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're good now. What's up, Gary?
Tim, when I do the cell phone, you got to remember, when I do it, I'm actually talking to you without looking at you. I've never called you and watched you, like, so I could get your facial expression and find out, okay, Garrett, time to wrap it up. I'm talking to you blind. Every time I talk to you, it's like I'm talking to you blind. I guess some people call and they can watch and talk and see what you're doing. I never could see you. I got to go back after the call to see how you responded to me, right? So just so you know where I'm coming from, I can't even feed off your reactions. So you got to tell me verbally, Garrett, it's getting close. Come on. You know how I get sometimes. Bro, I love you to death. All right?
Hilarious,
I love
yes.
you to death, bro. All right? I mean, that just got to be real. I don't know if I'm always right. That's the always thing. But at least I'm telling you what's real and what I feel. And it's like, I'm trying to impart something like anybody can go to the library tomorrow and find out what happened and read me a history book. I don't need to hear people reading me fucking shit at night about this is what happened then. I'm like, bro, I can go to the library and do that. All right? I don't need you to I want you to tell me how you feel. I want you to tell me what's going on in your mind. Something I can't go to the freaking library and find. All right? So all right? I don't need you to tell me, facts and stats. All right. You might, okay? I don't need that. But maybe I'm not telling everybody what they need. I'm just telling you how I feel. And you know what? Sometimes I hope everybody, I got out, Tim, and I think that's what I love about you too. I think sometimes you're probably like, Garrett, Garrett, I don't agree with that. But you're like, Garrett, I understand where you're coming, and you move on. But you always felt like, we're talking on the same emotional basis, and it is emotional. I mean, if you're 20 years old, I don't expect you to have much emotion. All right, because you got your whole life ahead of you. Me and Tim are over 50. We're getting towards the end. All right, we ain't got time to fucking bullshit and fucking talk about this shit no more, you young guys. All right, we ain't got time to listen to you guys at 19 and 20 and 21 telling us, oh, everything's fine. Bro, you haven't lived like we did. We're getting towards the end of our life. Me and Tim are trying to say something to you guys to get a message from what we learned for 50, 60 years. Can you guys get this? Can you read through this? Bro, it comes down so many things. Tim, remember, I can't see you. You got to give me a head gap. Getting close, all right? But you know me. I might ramble on, and all right, you got to say, Gary, I'm getting close. I got don't get rapping. Last night, you let me go fade into the sunset. It was like a Clint Eastwood movie. I listened to it the next night. I was talking, and he's like, Gary, you're gone, and I was still talking. All right, so the gun laws today, bro. Another indie. How many times I've got to have these conversations? I'm hanging around guys right now, and they're so big on the Second Amendment. I think everybody should have a right to have. I'm like, guys, when they wrote that amendment, it was in the 1700s. It was musket rifle versus musket rifle. Okay? When they said everybody has a right to bear arms, okay, you want to go up against the government? They got musket rifles. You got a musket. It's all legal. You can't tell me today you can start selling AK-47s on the street. What's next? We're going to sell Abrams, tanks. Oh, hey, I got enough money. I'm buying a tank. I want to go down the street. Well, I got the right to defend myself, don't I? Yeah, hey, NRA would say, buy a tank. You got to defend you. Are you fucking kidding me with that bullshit? This friggin' amendment's got to end with the gun laws. You get a pistol in your house to defend your loved ones. You get a hunting rifle if you need to go kill a deer for food. That's it. Nobody should be walking around with military weapons. Nobody should be walking around with military weapons. I can't walk down the street with a joint 20 years ago without getting busted. And these guys are walking down the street with an AK-47 waving it around. Are you kidding me? I mean, come on. We got to get, come on. We got to get off this video game trip. But that was it. I woke up this morning, Tim. I thought I was so trained like you. I was like, bro, that trial, but Tim, and I'm not even happy that I called that right because it doesn't make me feel better. But I told you last time, I said, I think the defense lawyer can't go much more than a day or two, remember? And I said, he ain't going to go much more than a day or two. He was 2 days. The prosecution had 19 days. The defense said 2 days. I can't do it no more. Are you kidding me? The guy said 2 days. I can't do this no more. The Chauvin looked at him like, really, man? You're hanging me out? He's like, bro, I can't do it. And you looked at him. He's like, well, let me tell you, you got the right to get up there and defend yourself. If you want to take the fifth, I'm going to give you one more chance to get up there and cry like a baby, and maybe you get some mercy on the court. And you're like, I don't want to talk because they're going to kill me. He already knew he was done. Are you kidding?
Oh,
Nobody could. No, bro. I mean, but then I wake up this morning and I see a guy walked in at 11 o'clock shift, I guess the third shift, late at night, walks into a FedEx mailroom and blows 8 people away that were just putting the mail. They were waiting to go home to their wives and their kids that morning. And the wives and kids get a phone call. Your father just died in the friggin' mailroom because some wackos had an AK-47. I keep saying AK-47. They're automatic rifles. Nobody should be walking around with that shit. I can't walk around like it. I said, man, I got a cop. People are like, you're a word. Hey, you got a joint in your hand. I'm like, there's guys walking around with AK-47s, and I'm going to be worried about a joint in my pocket. Are you kidding me? We're letting people walk around with guns, and that's a right. Like, I mean, listen, it's harder for me to get a driver's license than it is for me to get a license to shoot a gun. Shouldn't you be trained to shoot a gun? I mean, you got to at least park between the pylons to drive a car. Shouldn't you be able to hit somebody? Like, okay, are you kidding me? You're just giving guns to people and they didn't even have to freaking hit a target. I mean, this is the NRA is off the fucking charts, bro. And I love you to death. And I'm gonna leave it short and sweet tonight, bro. I wanted to go on wrong with you. I love you to death. But bro, when you do that, what you do, I'll tell you what. I don't think there was ever. Like I told you in the past, the only reason I'm a little more familiar with calling talk shows because I used to call when I was young, maybe at 16, 18. I called the sports shows. And I would talk to the guys about the game on Sunday. So I get emotional about it. Can you believe they made them a 7-point favorite and they won 7.5? I would get excited like that. But I
Gary, good up for Gary, y'all. Oh, God, give it up for Gary. Oh, Gary, you're hilarious, man. Too long, but hilarious. Oh, brother, man, brother. A lot of people wanted me to correct you on the military weapons. Those, if you saw remember the big-ass bullets? Big-ass bullets they use in military weapons? A little bit different. I just want to correct that, but yeah, people are carrying guns everywhere. And my condolences to the people that were lost or affected by the shooting in the FedEx. That's damn. Okay, let's keep it going, guys. Let's go. 603. 603, you're live. Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, I'm listening to Tim Black's Wolfpack, and it's getting real, and I'm loving it. This is Steve from New Hampshire. How you doing?
Steve, what's up, brother? What's on your mind, my friend?
Well, I used to be in law enforcement, and for quite a while. And I was at the county level and at the federal level, and I saw a bunch of shit when I was in there. And what amazes me as the years go by is I see case after case after case of this bullshit. And I'm wondering who trained these guys, because it isn't the training that I got. And I was a steward in the union, and the union even said, if you don't go by the training, if you just decide to just be, Joe Cowboy and shoot into a vehicle and you can't see everybody that's in that vehicle, or you decide to do this or that, or you decide that I make my own rules and the guy didn't happen to have a gun, but I'm going to shoot him anyway, or you shoot people to begin with instead of using it as a last resort, any of those things, union's not going to back you. At least back then they wouldn't. But apparently they're doing it now. They're backing these guys now. And the training, I have to believe, it doesn't make any sense for me to believe otherwise. The training must be reflected in what they're freaking doing now. They're being trained like, oh, if you're in a situation like this, we'll just fucking shoot them. What? That's how you tear apart a society.
Yep.
That's how you rip it apart. And, I look at the debates that are going on right now, especially with that poor kid, the 13-year-old that got shot, the last one that we heard about. And I'm sad to say that we'll probably hear about another one, probably by tomorrow. There's a report that he had a gun and that he dropped the gun when they couldn't see him drop it. And he spun around, put his hands up at the same time. And the cop thought, oh, he's still got the gun and he's raising the gun toward me. And that was wrong because he didn't have the gun anymore. And you shot an unarmed kid, but the training kicked in and then we have another tragedy. Does it make it less of a tragedy? No. Just because he had a gun at one point doesn't make it less of a tragedy. Is it another profiling case? Yes. It doesn't matter that he was armed at one point. It's a profiling case. So I just can't get my head around all of these one after another. Like I wrote a piece about the George Floyd case because I write now. And I did a piece called Not in My Name, which was about since 1441 on this continent that we've been trading in people and human trafficking. And the people that bore the biggest brunt of that are people of color that were imported from elsewhere to here. A lot of people involved in that. It was big money. And the psychology that went into that business is the reason why we have law enforcement today in this country. When they passed the 13th Amendment and they said, oh, slavery's done. The Emancipation Proclamation ended that. Well, on the street, it didn't. It still existed. So what they did was they passed the 13th Amendment and they said, oh, yeah, you can have a job, like it says, but we don't have to pay you, or we can just give you tips, which is where tipping came from, by the way. It was a slavery-fueled thing. They weren't going to pay black people, even though they had to, on paper, they had to say, yes, they're employable, and yes, we have to give them a wage. But we don't have to give them a set wage. We can just give them tips. So they kept making the rules. So the same people that served in the Confederate Army were the same people that now served, instead of as officers, they served as lawyers and judges. And instead of as soldiers, they served as slave catchers in law enforcement. The uniforms changed. The titles on the name plaques changed, but the job was the same. And the end result was the same. And if you got caught committing any crime and you were black, you were immediately imprisoned and returned to a status of slave. That was made law. So slavery was not over. And what are we doing? It's 2021 now. And what are we still doing? We incarcerate more people in this country than any other country by a factor of 5. And who are those people? They're men of color. We haven't learned a fucking thing in this country. You know, well, that's not who we are. We're America. That's not who we are. That is exactly who we fucking are. Nothing has changed. And so every time somebody, and I'm a white dude, as you could probably already guess, and every time I'm sitting around with people where there's no black people to be seen, and people, you know, they tend to speak a little more comfortably because, you know, just me and my bros, and that's when all of the shit talk comes out about, you know, goddamn welfare people and, you know, immigrants getting free welfare. They're not getting any welfare. They don't have any documentation, dumbass. But then they start talking about people of color because they figure it's safe, right? It's just a bunch of white guys. And it's like, I have to stop them right there. It's like, wait a minute, hold on. What are you talking about? You know, you just made huge generalizations about an entire section of our population who have contributed, frankly, more than you have, and had to keep a good attitude despite the fact that they're swimming against the tide of a river of shit every day that you don't have to swim against. And they're still producing, and they're still contributing more to society than you ever thought about. But yeah, you just have another beer, keep watching Fox News, and keep talking shit about them because they're the problem. They're not the problem. You know, the brain structures of conservatives and liberals are different. That's been proven by the National Institute of Health. And people with a conservative mindset who are prone to be racist have a deformed amygdala in their brain. I say we should scan those fuckers when they're like 15 or 16, right? And say, oh, look, he's got that fucking amygdala thing. All right, so you go live over there on that island because we don't want to deal with your shit when you're 25, right? Oh, my God. It's like, you know.
Hey, Steve, I got to stop you there, man, but I got to tell you. I got to stop you there, brother, but I got to tell you, man, this is been a very enjoyable call. One thing I'm going to ask you to do, and that is, the next time you call in and you talk about race, say black. I'm not a person of color. I'm a black man. And if you're talking about people like me, unless you mean blacks and Hispanics and Latinos and Brazilians or whatever, I don't know. Unless you mean that, say that, right? But if you just mean black folks, say black people. It's okay, Johnson. We talk like this around here. Now, I didn't say the N-word. I said say black. Let's not get it twisted. I didn't say you get a pass. I'm just saying say black, man. Because I personally, I don't like when people try to like push us all into, push us all in one thing, I don't like when they say, well, it's just people of color. Then there's white people, and there's people of color, there's all these other people. Okay, so I'm going to go to the next call, man. That was a good call. We got 607. 607, you're in the house. What's your name? What's your comment?
Jeff, I'm Jay. Wow, you got a pretty fantastic show going on tonight.
Hey, Jay, what's
every
up?
Once in a while on the reruns on YouTube. You got me?
Yeah, you're good. Go ahead, brother.
Wow, it's cool. First time calling in, all the people calling in, I just want everyone to know that you can create your own peaceful day. You go out and help your neighbor and invite the guys next door over for hamburgers and hot dogs or something like that on Saturday afternoon. You talk to each other. You really got to start talking to each other because I see where we're going with all this here right now, and I think there's a lot of us on the lower end of the pay scale that all fit into the same group, and we're kind of being naive right now. We're just not getting that. They've been taking advantage of us for a long time. the taxes, the racism, all of it, you know. Just it's you got to stand up, and that's all we got to do is just stand up and say no, no violence, no fight, no nothing, just no. I mean, I'm not going to accept this. It's wrong.
I hear you, brother. I hear you.
I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I think you not bad for a first time caller there, Jay. I know it's tough, man. You're coming out the box. You got to come up with something dope to say. You want to have an impact on the show, and you had great callers you're coming behind, like Steve and Gary and Trill and Joe and Damon and Candace. And it's not easy, but I got to say this, brother. I got to say this. I know a lot of people say things because they sound like the right thing to say, you know. And I heard it, especially in certain segments of progressive or the left or whatever they call this thing, man. Like, I don't like even labeling us, right? We're just people who have a point of view. Okay, Medicare for all, in mass incarceration, in the wars, bring the troops home, let the kids go to school for free. They'll be more productive that way, right? Stop selling everything and stop selling everyone, okay? These are like basic things. Clean water, clean air, that's just, you know. Maybe it'd be good to have a planet that's sustainable. But I gotta say this, man, because I'm the black guy on the left that speaks his mind, who ain't trying to go on MSNBC. I mean, that would go, but I would tell their ass some shit. I wouldn't be going there and just saying whatever they want me to say, like some other people when they get their opportunities. Their whole thing is to just say what's acceptable. And then we got people going on Fox and doing the same thing and saying what's acceptable there. So, you know, it is what it is. But I gotta tell you this, man. Is that black entity here on online news that's going to tell you. Fuck that class argument, brother, that we all in the same class. And that we need to stop being divided by class. Stop being divided by race because class is an issue. Stop that shit. Dude, blacks and white people don't have the same life expectancy. It's not a class issue. Poor whites outlive black folks too. Poor whites get better jobs. A black person with a college degree makes less than a high school dropout white dude. Generally. Stop telling me it's just class, man, and that race has nothing to do with it. Maternity death. Black women 3 times white women. It's not just class. Net worth, 1/10. Why is it 1/10, Joe?
90 seconds.
So we gotta have these tough conversations, man. Debt. So we start having these conversations. Why is it that we're so much more indebted than white people? We're the same. If color don't matter, what's the problem? Start asking those type of questions. You know? How are we going to have more debt than Latinos that only been here 50 years? Or 30 years? Or 70
60
years?
seconds.
How'd that happen if it's not something to do with race? You got to have that conversation, man, or be willing to address it and not just say the nice thing that we heard somebody else say because it sounds good and we just need to all join hands. We got some other shit too. Yeah, we need to join hands, but yeah, we need to fix some shit so we can join hands. Get what I'm saying? Like, both things can exist. We got so many problems, man, that for us to, like, we got so many. It's like you go in the room and it's messy as hell. You're like, I don't even know where to start. You ever get that feeling? You want to clean something up, and you're like, I don't even know where to begin. I'm just depressed looking at all this shit.
10 seconds.
That's America. You got bridges falling down. We got bad water. We got places in America that don't have sewage that works. I mean, we have cities that are literally full of shit. You hear what I'm saying, Johnson? There were people getting the same diseases you get in third world countries in America. here. And Joe's talking about build back better. Fuck that. Build anything. Jesus Christ. Fix the pipes. Fix the pipes. So I'm going to go to the next call, man, but I appreciate everybody chiming in. 409, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Jonathan.
What up?
What it do, baby?
I'm good, fam. Who's this?
It's your boy Gator Man dude, bro.
Gator Man dude in the house,
Report
man.
live on the Southeast Texas.
What up, man? What up? I seen you in the comment section, fam. Yeah.
Yeah, I live in the comment section, bro. Just trying to fight the trolls off, man. Hey, man, once again, good job, man. Love what you're doing, man. I was going to paraphrase my boy Gil Scott-Heron, man. When he said, why is the blues so at home here? Well, America created the atmosphere, you know, and it's what we deal with on a daily basis, man. Like people, like, you don't have to feel like a traitor, you know, like, but everybody, they want to shit on communism and socialism and shit, but this is what we are as a people, man, is that we are trying to get together, you know, and you see that as well as everybody else does, man. Everybody who calls to your show, you know, big props, Trill South, David, everybody who called in tonight, man, you know. And I was going to make a suggestion that maybe you should split the show into segments, bro. You know, little 10-minute intervals, because the attention span for most people ain't really that great, you know. They look at something for about two or 3 seconds and we fall off, you know. But the point of sharing your show, and I really love to share it, but I think that, you know what I'm saying, an hour or two, people say, oh, they watch 10 minutes and they fall off, bro. But, man, look, we see what it is, you know. We got old Kyle Rittenhouse is still running amok. He's like the new George Zimmerman, you know. And we got this bullshit going on, bro. And it kills me, man, to my heart. It really does, man. It kills me. I hate seeing what's going on right now in these days. And usually I'm trying to preach positivity. But at the end of the day, man, it's a lot of bullshit we're going through, man. And I really don't even know which direction, which way to go to turn it around, you know. But as far as speaking truth to power, man, that's what this show does. That's what it does. You give people a voice, bro. And at the end of the day, that's so important, you know, that we all get to speak our chest. You know, we speak from the chest. And that's what you do. That's what you give your callers the opportunity to do. And, man, just keep on pushing, Tim. Just keep on pushing, bro.
That's
I got to tell everything will work out in the end. If it don't, so be it, you know. But you just keep pushing, brother, man. And thank you once again, man.
You got it, brother. Gator Man dude. Thank you, Gator Man dude, man. I appreciate you, fam. Yeah. You know, as far as the segments, you're absolutely right, brother. Go to the YouTube channel itself and you'll see I got videos that are broken down, and some of them are less than 10 minutes. Some of them are like 6 minutes, 5 minutes. But some are 15, 20 minutes. But I get you. You know, definitely. We were trying to go that route, and I will continue to try to go that route, where I'll take a three-hour show like this and try to find relevant points to make, you know, little videos about, take little excerpts out of those, you know what I'm saying? It just takes time. But I appreciate the vote of confidence and the support, brother, because, you know, we do what we can, right? And thank you for trying to keep the trolls at bay. And shout out to my moderators, man. My moderators don't get enough love, man. Moderators in the house. Thank you so much for what you do. 442. 442, you live. What's your name? What's your comment?
This is Amir Stanfield, man. I'm from Watts, California, man. All day Wolfpack, man. I really wanted to call you today, and you know, I was gonna talk about some some old progressive friends that we used to have, like Kyle and them. You know, that's kind of how I, you know, found you, was through Kalinsky, and I don't even watch him no more. I watch you now because, you know, you talk about the things that, you know, are kind of important to me, and that's really what I wanted to let you know today, man. But sitting here listening to a lot of these callers, I kind of got some other stuff to say now, but I'm not gonna go on too long, like like my boy or whatever. But this is, you know, I'm normally in the comment section. It's kind of been hard to even kind of get a hold of you. They've been shadow banning you, man. I don't get no notifications or anything when you come on. And so I said today I'm gonna try to call in. So I've been online for a while, man. So that was really what I wanted to tell you. But since I'm on the line, I wanted to talk about that. You know, this you know, the reparations and the Asian stuff and all that stuff that's going on, man. You know, the way that you cover stuff is what people need, because besides you, there's really no progressives or a lot of people on the left that cover a lot of black issues. They normally talk about, you know, the things that you were talking about, the $15 minimum wage and, you know, the health care and these foreign wars and stuff like that, which is not to say that, you know, to minimize those things, but, you know, these are things that are on the forefront right now, and to not even see them covered at all. I'm talking about, you know, the people that, you know, a lot of people watch, the, you know, Jimmy Dores and stuff like that. These people are not even covering, you know, the Derek Chauvin, any of that stuff, man. And I just wanted to, you know, not gonna ramble on, not gonna be on too long, but I just wanted to let you know, man, the Wolfpack, man, we, us Johnsons, we really appreciate you, man, because there's not too many people out here. It's really just you, you know, that's doing the stuff that you're doing, man. And I'm loving the work. Tim Black is the right name. You know, I've been watching you for a while, man. I want to tell you condolences still for your dad and everything, man. And that's really all I want to tell you, man. I'll take everything off the air, man, and go ahead and finish the show, man. You just keep up the good work, bro.
Give it up for Amir, man. Thank you, Amir. I appreciate it, fam. And yeah, man, you never get over. I don't think I'm ever gonna get over losing my dad, man. I think I'm always gonna have that hole in my heart for him. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna go see my mom tomorrow, and we're gonna chop it up. You know what I'm saying? And I try to do that very often. Spend time with her when I get a chance. I try to call her regularly, and I talk to my brothers and sisters. It's made us all closer, man. Trying to bond after that's such a loss, man. I think I said a lot about how I felt about coverage and stuff. Hey, man. I made mistakes. You know, with my content. You know, I've covered things because sometimes back in the past, like, I've been doing this for almost 10 years, man. I used to do different types of shows, you know. I tried to be what I thought the audience wanted me to be. And then it took me a few years ago, I said, man, I just need to be me. Just a black man, working class background. That's who I am. It is what it is. I got into, you know, and the issues that I care about are the issues that other people care about. I just need to find those people. I just said this the other day to someone on Instagram who said, just like you, sounds like you. To Tim, you're the only one covering this stuff like this with this type of politics, that's covering these types of issues, man. Never change, brother. Don't ever change, man. I love what you do. And I said, man, I just decided that I need to find more people like you, bro. I don't need to change. I need to find more people that care about what I talk about. Because I got to stay passionate and I got to stay real. Or why do it? I could still be in computers, man. If I just want a job. So I just need to find people that care about that thing. There's a lot of people that care about these issues. And I need to let them know they have a place they can go to. That's all. And that's why I'm going to need you guys to get involved, because you know people that would be interested in this. You know what I'm saying? That's why I need to enable my viewers, my wolf pack, to multiply, to grab a friend. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the only way this is going to work. Because I don't know how to let the world know there's a show that's by a guy who believes we deserve Medicare for all, in mass incarceration, legalized cannabis, in the wars, but also believes stop shooting us in the ass. Stop killing us in the streets. Spend more money on mental health, less money on cops. And I'm going to cover that. Oh, you know what? And I will also cover crazy shit people do from time to time that I think hits me in a way that I think it hits the consciousness of the black community, and not just the black community, because there's a lot of people of all colors that relate to shit that happens in the black community or things that happen adjacent to the black community that we all can relate to. I mean, there's a lot of shit that goes on in this country. You know? And Adam Toledo was a Hispanic kid. I covered that. Kyle Rittenhouse is a white kid. I covered that. So it's not just color. It's the issues, right? But yeah, I appreciate you, Amir, man. Thank you for calling up and keeping my spirits up on this. Because believe me, man, there's been times I looked and I saw, damn, man, my people leaving. But then I said, these aren't the right people for you, Tim. It's okay. It's sort of like, you know, if you ever had a relationship that didn't work out. And sometimes, it's like I've told a guy a long time ago, as a friend of mine, I'm going to say this, I'm going to get back to the show. He lost his girl, man. He loved her, man. He thought he loved her. He, you know, and then it ended. And then he was down, he was in the dumps, man. And I told him, man, I said, look, man, you can't see it now, but let me tell you something, bro. Sometimes when you lose, you win. And later, he found the one that was even better match for him. Even a better match. And he took me out for drinks one day, and he was just like, man, I never forget what you told me, bruh. You were right. I said, I thought, you know, yeah, I was, but you kept an open mind and you kept moving forward. You didn't stay stuck in that place that you were in. So it ain't just me saying it, it's you living it. You feel me? So I realized I could be upset about the people that didn't like that I covered George Floyd. And I lost some people. Oh, he's focused on negative stuff. He only covered George Floyd because he's black. I lost some people. I got a list of videos that tell me when people leave. I know when they left. When I covered the Black Women series, I lost some people. Only video they watched was Nina Turner. They didn't care about the educator. They didn't care about the doctor talking about wellness. They didn't care about mental wellness. Or my PR friend that was talking about wellness in the workplace and black women with this struggle. They didn't care about this. So anyway, but then I say, you know what? They're going to go anyway because I'm going to be me and they're going to be gone today or they're going to be gone tomorrow because I'm going to keep on talking about this real shit because every day something's going to happen. So we might as well just get this out the way right now. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like I keep a clean house. You are messy. So we need to clean this up right now. You need to know right now. You know how people like that, right? Let you know the rules and initially. So there's no misunderstanding. I'm going to go to the next call, man, but I thank you, brother. 847. You're live. Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
What's up, 847?
Yes. Who's this?
Hey, 847, Robert P. Robert P. in Chicago, holding down the Central Time Zone. Just want to thank you so much for your coverage. You know, without you guys in the Wolf Pack all supporting you, I wouldn't even be. I'm ashamed to say it, but I'll be too concerned about my mental health to watch all this stuff. But, you know, with everybody together, the community, I'm able to watch it. I'm able to see, like, what was I so afraid of, man? You know, it's just the truth. And I got a lot of people that feel the same way, so it makes it helpful. And great callers. You know, what you were just saying right now reminds me of a spiritual saying of when the flower blooms, the bees will come. So, you know, I hope you get plenty of good bees. And now I guess I'm going to get to my point real quick. With the racism stuff, you know, I can't breathe where people were mocking it. And I got the feeling even the officers, when they were taking care of Mr. Floyd, he said, I can't breathe. And they're like, yeah, whatever. It's kind of like a teacher saying, like me going to my teacher, my dog ate my homework. And they're like, yeah, right. That's just you. That's a saying. You guys say, what, you know, it was a cry for help. And, you know, I like spiritual stuff. And this guy Sadhguru, and he says, what I love can do no wrong. Like what I hate can do no right. And, you know, that's my sister-in-law. I cut her a slice of cake like everybody else. And she's like, you know, he think he made good slice of cake. So I make it a little bigger, and she's like, hey, he cut some sprinkles, you know. So it's always going to be like that with some people, and don't get caught. I just want to urge people not to get caught up in the black and white thinking. Don't be manipulated into black and white thinking. That means all one bad and all one good. You know, there's always, you know, it's great to have critical thinking. It's a skill, something that needs to be practiced. It's something that we need to self-reflect on, and, you know, don't get led one way or the other, and, you know, keep your mind straight. You stick to your moralities, your rationale, whatever you use, your compass, and everybody can be their own judge at the end of the day. And just with Fox News, man, Fox News comes with a free antenna. I don't know about everybody, but my uncles, they're like, why pay for cable? I'll pop up an antenna, get 10 channels for free. I'm happy. You know, I pop a beer and got my 12 channels. And, man, Fox News and available to the people in poverty. And it's just spitting like awful propaganda. And I didn't come up with this, but Malcolm X, somebody educated me on this. Malcolm X said, you know, propaganda makes war allies, like people that we fight with. It makes them allies. Like, hey, man, no, these Russians in World War II, they're our friends, right? And we all go, yeah, they're our friends. And he's like, why can't we do that with the African American community? Why can't we say like, hey, they're our friends too? Instead, you watch Fox News and it's, you know, maybe that's their audience they're aiming for, those kind of people with that kind of mindset. Like the one caller was saying, the amygdala, which is a fear center in the brain. It's like kind of instinctual, so people call it the lizard brain. That's just to say it's a more primitive brain. It's the part of your brain that says, hey, be careful, put your hands up, that's fire, put your hand away from it. So, you know, and I've seen in my own life where I've with a coworker, you know, some people, the hate makes them feel great, and they just look at somebody and they're insecure inside, and they're like, you know what, I'm better than this person, or they want something to get on. And I remember a Grubhub guy, a black guy. I used to work at a military community, military family base outside the base. And this black guy pulls up in his Civic, and he puts the food in front of the door. And what I saw was all reverence and respect for his service people. He was just delivering food, but he was giving service. He was trying to make sure it was all right. It was proper. It was in the shade, and wasn't blocking the door. He took his picture. And I was like, man, this guy feels like me. You know, he's just trying to give back to these people that do so much for us, trying to do service to those who deserve service for us. And I look at my boss, and he's just, you know, my boss did not feel the same way. He kind of had rage in his eyes, and he just was saying, look at this guy. He's putting the food on the ground. He's not being respectful. He should have knocked on the door. And I was like, man, you know, we're in CV time. He's doing the protocol. That's exact protocol. You don't want to infect these people that work at the bases. You know, like a military enemy would love to infect the people at the bases. What I saw was this guy doing an excellent job with reverence, and what this my employer, what he saw was just disrespect. And that's the whole thing with that. I just want to go off with the bias, and be careful with that. I want to thank you again, and I'm gonna let you go. And I wish I had more to say, but maybe I'll call back another time. And I thank you for giving the space for other people and everybody. Thanks for supporting Mr. Black, and you know, I really appreciate it for myself. Goodbye.
That's what's up, man. Thank you for the phone call, young man. I appreciate that. Robert P. in the house. My bad, that wasn't Robert P. I think I missed your name in the beginning. Robert P. was the last call. There's things I could say. I'm gonna leave it light. Keep an open mind, brother. And you'll find good people everywhere you go. If you keep an open mind, you'll find some assholes everywhere you go as well. And when we talk about racism and shit like that, dog, we're not talking about individual people, really. You know what I'm saying? I know we got individual people that are screwed up. I know that. But we're talking about structures that are in place, like law enforcement, college. Do you believe lawyers get discriminated against? Like actual black lawyers get discriminated against who went to like Yale. Yeah, because it ain't just us, man. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, they get judged harsher on their papers, their dissertations, and their briefs by other lawyers within law firms. It did studies on all this shit, Johnson. Once the partners thought the brief came from the black clerk, they rated it up. When they thought it came from the white clerk, they didn't rate it. So it's not just you and your homies or people around your way. It's a sickness, dog. Right? It's a sickness. It's infected. And black people got it too, and it affects everybody. So I had Bill Duke. Remember Bill Duke from the movie Predator? And some of my old heads may remember Car Wash and various other things. There's been a lot of other stuff as well. You know, Minister Society, he stole the show, Mr. Society. He was a scene stealer. Some people say a movie stealer. Bill Duke told me, because we had this conversation on this show. He said, man, everybody's racist, Tim Black. Everybody's racist. It's not a racism, you know. I've seen all types of racism. I've been around for a long time. He said, did you know that I used to go to church when I was a little boy, and with my mother, and on the church they have a bag test. And if you were darker than a brown paper bag, you couldn't come into church. And this was a black church. Think about it. 805. You're live, 805. What's your name? What's your comment?
Yo.
Yo.
Hello.
Yo, what's up, 805?
Oh, great. Yes, this is 805. David, this is David here on 805 on the West Coast.
What's up?
Okay, I got a couple of things. First, I want somebody to tell Candace Owens, take a selfie and put it on a pancake box. And as far as the police, we need to examine where they get trained. Where they get trained, a lot of them get trained in none other than Israel. And so you can't expect the police to get trained in Israel and not treat black people like Palestinians. That's all I gotta say.
Man, brother, you hit hard.
You wanna fix this? Huh?
I said you hit hard, man. You said Palestinians.
You wanna fix this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, we're Palestinians. That's what we are. Black people are Palestinians. Oh, and you know what, Tim, I admire you, man. You are the spook behind the door, brother.
What? Damn, dog.
Have you? Right on, bro. I'm out of here, dog. That's all I had to say.
Wow. You called me a spook behind the door, John. Give it up for this guy, man. Yeah, you know, I haven't heard that connotation. I ain't that old, man. Girl up here talking about we over 50. What are you? Man, I'm 38. What is you talking about, bro? Look at my Just for Men. Man, what are you talking about, man? Am I the oldest, y'all? I remember that. When the Spook Behind the Door movie with Sidney Poitier? Oh, man. I'm behind the door, bro. That's where I'm at. I ain't gonna touch that one. Oh, oh hell no. Oh hell no. Remember Steve Harvey? Oh hell no. Oh hell no. Hell no. 206. You're live. What's your name? What's your comment? 206. I can't hear you. 206. Okay. Guess 206 ain't there, man. Let's go 561. 561, you're live Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Tim, how you doing?
I'm good, man. Who's this?
This is Ty from South Florida.
Ty, what's happening, baby?
I want to tell a little story about what happened to me one time while I was out locksmithing. That's what I do for a living. Got a van written right on there. It's about 2 a.m. I'm unlocking this car. It's a big Toyota Sequoia. The alarm's going off. I've got the owners of the car right next to me. 2 like little old ladies, older ladies. One was a 4th grade teacher. I think they were both teachers. And while I'm unlocking this vehicle, I just get swamped, surrounded by a whole team, probably a dozen SWAT team officers. They've got, assault rifles, ARs, whatever they carry. They're just pointed at me. Get down. I hugged the car and didn't move. And I knew that if I turned around as fast as that 13-year-old kid did, they was going to shoot me to death. I was scared to death, and I'm just out there working. And so these things, these issues, they affect me directly, especially this police reform stuff. And the response they give to just anything that's going on, they didn't need to send a dozen people out there for me. And then the little old ladies that were with me were grateful that they were out there keeping their car safe and make sure it's not getting stolen. Meanwhile, I just felt like I'm 2 seconds away from getting shot by the police out here in the middle of Delray in the middle of the night. And, I've got my vehicle. It says locksmith right on there. So these cops they're just sent in ready like that. And not every situation requires that, They could have just walked up and asked. I'm obvious, my hands, I'm crawling all over this vehicle. There's, obviously my hands are occupied with what I'm doing. It's not like I've got any kind of weapons or gun, or I could make any movements that it could even access one of those if I did have it. So their de-escalation techniques, they're the ones that escalate these situations. And I don't know, there's nothing to do about it. That mass shooting in Indiana that happened last night, I've got a good friend I grew up with who's actually a police officer down there. So I called him when I saw that happen to make sure he was all right. And we don't talk a whole lot anymore, especially, after he became a police officer, after we grew up, getting high in his mom's basement for all of high school and driving around and speeding and doing all that dumb kid stuff, So like he was my running buddy back then, and now he's a police officer. And, obviously he's a Trump guy now because he's a cop and he's around that culture all the time. And, I was asking him about some of this stuff, and he says, well, any resistance is suitable for me to pull my firearm. If I feel like you're resisting, then that's an automatic threat to an officer, even if it's not physical resistance. He says that's an automatic threat. I can use whatever force I feel necessary at that point because you threatened me. And I'm like, we're talking about Floyd, where he just says, I'm claustrophobic, I can't get in that car. That's resistance enough for you just to apply force like that? Absolutely, without blinking an eye. His idea of what qualified immunity is different from the facts I know about it. He says it's just a law that says that as long as you're trained that way, then you're protected, even if the training's bad. And I'm like, I think that law goes a lot further than what you're describing here. But I wasn't gonna go down that road too far with him first thing in the morning. But just any level of resistance. Like the first time I got arrested, I was 13 because I was the biggest kid there, and it was just a misunderstanding. But when the cop said turn around, and my parents were standing right there, when the cop said turn around, I'm going to handcuff you, I just turned around and hugged my dad real fast. Like I didn't know what to do. I was scared. And Kevin's like, that cop could have shot you right then. That's a threat to him. I'm like a 13-year-old kid scared to death, not knowing what's going on is a threat to a grown police officer. And he's just, absolutely it is. And this is coming from a normal guy that I grew up with, that I always considered had a good heart and everything. And it's the views on the world have gotten so twisted. And I don't know if it's a direct result of having that job, but we can't have the people that are enforcing our laws walking around thinking this way. And that's what we've got. And then just my last thing, in Missouri, Senate Bill SB 528 is, I don't know the timeline exactly, but they're creating a militia, a Minutemen. And all the identities of the members are going to be concealed, and it'll be punishment if you release those names. And I don't think they voted it past yet, but I saw the citizens of Missouri when I was a kid vote a dead man into the governor's chair. I'm pretty sure it was the governor. They voted a dead guy into office. Right before the election, Mel Carnahan died in a plane crash. Everybody voted for him. He overwhelmingly won, a dead guy. And they knew he had died already. Like, just the way the timing was on that one. So I know this thing's going to pass. And what is that for? That's for there to be a specific response to, like, what happened in Ferguson with Michael Brown, right?
Black Lives Matter.
And when it's a direct, it has to be what it's for, right? I mean, so that they can probably police officers that are off duty or whatever can go out in plain clothes and be protected because they're part of this Minutemen deal, and quote, take care of business. I mean, it's got to be what this bill is for. I don't know. Missouri's a crazy place. But anyway, thank you for letting me have my time. I appreciate it, Tim.
Absolutely, man. Thank you for calling up, Ty. Good to hear from you, man. And we come a long way, fam. We come a long way, brother. Yeah, man. People had to get used to each other, and I think we got it down to a science, fam. That's my brother Ty, man. And I was really sorry to hear that story, man. Someone in the comments section said some current calls your ass in, man. That's messed up. That's messed up, brother. We've all had those bad situations, man. Bad situations. I remember that. I got called in one time. I was a security guard at a mall when I was in high school. I was still in high school, I think I was. And I had the belt on. I didn't carry a gun. I wasn't special police. I was just a security guard. I had a walkie-talkie on my belt. Going into an apartment, some Karen saw me. Thought it was a gun. Got a knock on the door. Open the door. It's like 5 cops outside with guns on my ass. Someone said you had a gun. What the? And they just wanted to beat somebody's ass, man. Like, there's a lot of things about the cops, man. And like I said, like, this is my experience. That happened to me. And they're like, they found I'd done nothing. Bad call. One of the cops was so mad, he was like, we down here for nothing, man. I thought we was going to kick some ass tonight. What you say, boy? Did you say something about my mother? About my mother? You say something? It's like, nah, I didn't say nothing, sir. Why you eyeballing me, mother? Yeah. I was like 17. Yep. My God, man, these guys, some cops like kicking people's ass. They like fighting. You know what I'm saying? There's some cops who, in their early 20s, just like mixing it up, man. They go out looking for fights, looking for people to beat up. I think I told that story before. How I found that out. We caught a guy shoplifting. And we caught him shoplifting one too many times in the mall. It was my first week there. I didn't know nothing about this. They were like, man, this is our 4th time catching you. This guy was he was a drug addict. He's a guy on crack or whatever. He started getting smart with him, with the security guards in the security office room. Oh, man, just write the paperwork up, man. Write the paperwork up. I said, okay, we got something for you. Cops came. He said, yeah, that guy who was talking smack to us, that guy. He said, yeah. I said, well, look, man, we're going to go up and get some donuts and some coffee. We'll be back in about 20 minutes, man. When that door closed and those cops went out that door, those security guards beat this guy to a pulp. I mean, they knocked teeth out his head. It was blood all over the carpet. I'm just standing there like, what? These are all grown-ass men. I was the only young person there. I'm like, what the hell? They beat this guy up badly. Cops came back downstairs. Guy was like, hey, they beat me up, man. It's like, I ain't seen nothing. Man, how I know you didn't fall down the steps? Oh, you just saw me. I was like, man, this law enforcement stuff is not for me, man. 262. 262, you live. Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Tim, my brother, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good. What's up, brother?
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you for covering the George Floyd trial. I would love to watch it myself. I tried the first couple of days. I wasn't able to, so I am glad that you actually covered everything that was important. So I really just want to say thank you for that, first and foremost.
You're welcome, brother. Thank you.
Other than that, I had a lot of other issues I wanted to discuss, but it's getting kind of late, man. But I just want to say thank you for tonight at least, and I will call back later on.
All right, brother. Well, thanks for staying on the line, man. You're right. It is late as hell, man. I'm over here hanging on, man, but I appreciate the phone call, man. I appreciate you staying in the queue, though. 206, I'm going back to 206 just because you didn't answer the first time. And then I'm going to 808 because 808, you're live, 808. What's your name? What's your comment?
Yo, what's up, Tim Black? It's William from Hawaii.
William from Hawaii. What's going on, brother?
Hey, I just had a couple points, but I guess I got to apologize to Gary first. Yeah, I'm the guy hanging out in the library doing the Dewey Decimal Shuffle. I apologize, but I do look down. I see Sophia like 2 tables down. She's got a stack of books twice as big as mine, so it doesn't make me feel so bad. And one thing I did learn in the library is who in the hell is dumb enough to bet on basketball? Gary bet on basketball. That is the biggest sucker's bet in the universe, and he's calling up talk shows complaining about betting on basketball. Gary, no disrespect, brother, but crack a book, man. It's not so bad. It doesn't hurt. You'll do fine. You got to just break in slowly. Dick and James, start there. You'll get your whale.
What? So
just a couple quick points, man. Number one, in 2021, there were 1,021 people, civilians, that were killed, shot to death by U.S. police. 1,021. And I'm going to take a little bit of liberty here because they are my tribe. All the Blue Lives Matter folks out there, you should know 457 of that 1,021 were pasty white, sunburned during the summer folks just like you all. So you need to figure out where to park that Blue Lives Matter car, maybe in an alley somewhere. The county will come tow it, but just get rid of it. Don't look at it anymore. It's ridiculous. During that same, I'm talking about 1,021 in 2020. In Germany, there was 527. Now that 527 shot to death by police was since 1952. Since 1952, 527 shot to death by police in Germany. Now, what's the difference? Are there less racists in Germany? Oh, not even. That's ridiculous. Hell no, there's not less racists. Is there less diversity in Germany? Fuck no, there's not less diversity in Germany. But what you may look at is in Germany, to become an officer of the law, to serve the public, it takes 2 years of intensive training, and they have a 40% dropout rate, or do not make it to the end in Germany in that training period. There is no qualified immunity in Germany. In fact, it's the exact opposite. If you are an officer of the law serving the public, you are held to a higher legal standard, and that standard also carries higher punishments for crimes. There's no 3 strikes, you're out. There's no 21 strikes, you're out. You make one mistake and your ass is out immediately. And I'm not talking about mistakes like, oh, I grabbed my taser or my pistol instead of my taser. I mean, like minor infractions, and you are through, done. No retirement, no benefits, no administrative leave. You are just cut off and finished. So in the United States of America, by comparison, on average throughout the country, 21 weeks of training. 21 weeks of training, and they're handing you a pistol, a shotgun, a tank, gear, riot gear, shields and shit. 21 weeks of training. Qualified immunity. I mean, how, and I'm all for unions. I mean, I am all for unions. But how in the hell does it make any sense in the universe for public servants to have a public servant union? It's absolutely ridiculous. It's like saying we're going to start a union for people in the Army. It makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. My second point, and I'm not going to mention any names, but there are plenty of shows out there. But there is no show I can guarantee you that I can call up and I can shoot the shit with the host. I can't ask the host a question. The host isn't going to talk to me in a million goddamn years. No chance. At the end of every show, they'll all say, "Oh, email me your questions and comments." Man, that shit is going in the trash as fast as they get it in their hand, if they even bother to read that shit at all.
Wow.
Now, I will tell you from personal experience, that does not occur on the Tim Black Show. And there are members of your staff, I am sure, will tell you that I have driven nuts with questions. But I have never sent an email and not gotten a response back from your staff. And so specifically, I wanted to give out a shout out to 1K Lovejoy, who has helped me out on more than one occasion. I hope she doesn't get sick of me at any point in time. I will take her out for dinner, buy her a puppy, anything she wants. She does a wonderful job. So that's all I got for you tonight, Tim. But I want to thank you, my very young brother. I know you're young, you're learning. You'll pick up pretty soon. You just got to get through those 30s and you'll be fine. Have a good night, Tim.
My brother. There he goes. William, what's up, man? Thank you, friend. Thank you. That's hilarious, man. Oh, man. Wow. Wow. Yeah. I guess I'm talked out, man. You guys said it all. What a night, folks. What a night. What a night. You think I haven't seen that you guys went above, beyond any. Give it up for everybody who donated to the show tonight, man. Just give it up for them. Give it up. I want to thank you guys so much, man, for this. I did not expect this at all. I did not expect this at all, man. This is damn. This is definitely a record. This is definitely a record, guys. Wow. All right, let's do some reading, man. I got to read some comments. Facebook people, there was a record set here on the Tim Black Show, man, with donations. I've never even got close to this amount of money on a day of a show day. This is damn, man. You guys are amazing, man. Roger Meadow says unqualified immunity. Johnson, hit him in the pension. Hit him in the pension. Damn right, hit him in the pension. Silly Boo says, hi, Tim. Thanks for all the hard work covering the Chauvin trial. The Chauvin trial. You're the only progressive who has covered the trial. I appreciate you every minute of your analysis. Thank you, Silly Boo, my sister. I appreciate you. You know how we do, Johnson. Ty Savage, how am I just found out about Anton Black's story today? You know what, Ty? I heard about it before I covered it. I covered it on this channel, but I did not cover the fallout from it. It was local for me, so it don't have to be local for me to cover it, obviously. But I did cover the initial. So now you know what I know, which is what I found out through my comment section of my own video. That Dr. Fowler, who testified for the defense in the Derek Chauvin trial, lied his ass off in the Anton Black trial. So give it up for that. Oh, Keith Weston came through. Keith Weston said, TB, thank you for all the hard work covering these stories. We got to keep leveling up Johnsons and keep the Wolfpack growing. To the haters, case closed, face closed. Kick rocks with flip-flops. Wolfpack Nation, TBTV. What up, Keith? What up, man? Thank you, sir. My friend. Thank you. Appreciate you looking out. Shout out to Nisi Moby. Nisi Moby came through. She did what she does. Upside. Thank you, Nisi. Sheldon Hughes came through doing what he does as well. Thanks for all the great coverage you provide. We love you, Tim. Damn. Hey, thank you, Sheldon. Appreciate you. Means a lot, fam. Sally Thompson, my narrator friend, my storyteller. I wish it could be more, but you know I love you, Tim, and all my wolf friends in the pack. I love you too, Sally. One of a kind. An original. SK. Thank you for taking my call. You can get hot on me anytime. You have a good heart. I'm not the most articulate person. Thank you again. Give it up for SK. Roger came through again. Roger says, America's first caucus thought about Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene. Paul Gozer calls for promoting Anglo-Saxon political traditions. The hell? She need to get somewhere and sit her ass down. Roger says, Joe DeSantis Fox, they've complained he's too boring to cover. They throw everything at him. We threw everything at him and it doesn't work. Stick Joe's C-3PO. R2-D2 cutting through a laser fight but never gets hit. That's funny. The thing. Bose Einstein. Cambridge study. Extremists have deformed brains. Give it up for Bose Einstein. Sally Thompson. Well, Mitch and Murray, my Great Danes, who are 6'4" on their hind legs and weigh 200 pounds each, said I had to give a donation from them because they said they are big and black and proud of that, just like Tim. Oh, shit. Hey, it's true. I am proud of that. William McGregor in the house. William says, here we go again. Tim Black, child of the 80s. The hairline is an optical illusion, Johnson. Woo! Hairline. Man, look, man, I had to let it go, Johnson. Andrew Gale in the house. My cousin and his wife, both Georgia Tech engineers, are teaching their kids French and moving to the land of original colonizers because they feel safer there than the washed, inbred, leftover colonizers here. Pick a colonizer for 200. Andre Gale also says, all of us are for unions. But the police doesn't have a union. They have a mafia. Oh, Lady Jackie came through. Lady Jackie, thank you. I appreciate you. My last person, Cam Bam. You're the best, Tim. Well, thank you, Cam Bam. I appreciate you, Cam Bam. Cam Bam. God. What can I say, guys? Thank you so much for supporting this show, representing like you did. I'm floored, man. I don't know what to say, man. I'll use it to promote the show. There you go. I'll use it to promote the show. Don't forget, guys, go to GeorgeFloydCase.com. That's GeorgeFloydCase.com. Get your copy of the 10 facts about the George Floyd case. It's downloadable. It's free. Check it out. You got a share link if you want to share it with someone else. Put it wherever you want to put it or print it out. Don't matter. It's yours. It's for the people. So that when George Floyd's killer, Derek Chauvin, gets 40 years, the conservatives will be able to look and see why. And they can read my document and understand why he got convicted. How about that? All right, guys, that's it. I got nothing but love for you. Have a great weekend. I'll be putting out content this weekend, of course. Come back to the YouTube channel to watch individual videos. To all my callers tonight, I want to let you know you're amazing. To all my Patreons, thank you for making this possible. To people that donated tonight, thank you for supporting the realness, the realest show on the internet, with the best callers on the internet. I said it. I said it. Wolfpack, motherfucker. Let me ask you something. Do they know us? When I say they, I mean the talking heads on cable news. Do they know you? I mean, they talk about the world as if it's a sport. They play political games, report on our pain, rack our brain to feed the stock exchange, but do they know us? Do they know what we care about? Nope. They're too far away. They can't see us. They can't feel us. They can't relate to us. See, when you want to know what's going on in your world, trust someone who lives in your world. Subscribe.
Tim Black. Tim Black is the host of The Tim Black Show. Independent news that leaves you informed, inspired, and sometimes entertained, but always in the know. Go to timblacktv.com and sign up today. The Tim Black Show is news for people who can't stand the news. See you there. Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Don't be fooled by corporate media talking heads misleading the people. Get your news and information from an entity that keeps it real. Tim Black. Tim Black is the host of The Tim Black Show. Independent news that leaves you informed, inspired, and sometimes entertained, but always in the know. Go to timblacktv.com and sign up today. The Tim Black Show is news for people who can't stand the news. See you there.
Cool Streams TV, the best streaming service in the world. With over 2,000 channels. Watch it anywhere on your Android or iPhone. Watch it on your tablet or any Fire device. Premium channels, network channels, pay-per-view sports. Direct access to 24/7 customer service. Go to coolstreamstv.com and purchase your subscription. Cool Streams TV. We are the best in the business.
All right, man. What's up, man? My name is Tim Black, man, and you know. All right, man. What's up, man? My name is Tim Black, man, and you know, I run the TBTV show, man. I'm the producer, man. I'm the executive everything, man. I do everything, man, because my paper ain't right, man. I gotta work the whole thing out. But check this out, man. Mrs. Black went to the dollar store for a brother, and you know, she didn't bring me back any salt and vinegar potato chips, man. Like, I'm trying to figure this out. If you're gonna go to the store, man, the dollar store, you know ain't nothing healthier than the dollar store. The least you can do is pick your husband up some salt and vinegar potato chips, man. Is that too much to ask, man? Ladies, is that too much, man? Jesus Christ. Then I had grandbaby Naomi come down here, man, looking for him, man. I'm like, man, go on upstairs, man. Leave me alone, man. The brother's working. Man. Then I got my son Chase up there making noise, man. Why he gotta be so damn loud, man? I gotta yell at him. Look, man, being me ain't easy, man. You know? I just hope the little baby, man, she a terrorist, man. She terrible too. That's the terrible two terrorists, man. Terrorist 2. Lala, man, she is dangerous, man. She'll really just drive you crazy, man. You'll be like, oh man, I don't know if I wanna live here no more, man. Look, if you like the content, subscribe to the channel. You know a little bit about my life. You know who I am. I know who you are. Wolfpack. Oh, email me at clientkid@timblacktv.com, and if you're pissed off with me, just go ahead and send the email to your mama's house at timblacktv.com. All right, then. Peace.